writing some things down.
Oh, good. I'm glad you were prepared because
I'm not, but I'm like,
I don't have
I'm
anything. So I was like, I'm just gonna wing it.
yeah, I'm not. But I was like, I've been slacking. I know that we said we were gonna meet, so I was like, I have time tonight. So I was like, oh my gosh, let me just like
It worked out perfect. Like I had nothing planned, and Brandon's home with the girls, so I'm like, oh, good. I don't have to even like worry about it. So
good. I don't. I My homework is like done. I just gotta read.
yay!
Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, we're waiting for people to come in. I'm writing some things down. Um. Okay. Let me see. I'm just trying to think of like techniques that's coming up in my head on like ways how
Mhm.
what I do, while chasing my dreams, while going through like hard times. So I'm just writing some things down.
Okay. Good thing to think about. Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just writing it down. Sorry. I'm
Oh
like,
no, no, no. Take your time. Take your time. I'm still thinking, still pondering.
okay.
You write whatever you need to.
Okay.
Don't worry. Don't need to entertain me. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'm in my own thoughts.
because I'm
So
like,
it's good.
I don't want to be here like, so I was like, let me just write things that like
No,
just
no,
came
no.
to my mind.
Right?
Uh,
Yeah, I should
uh,
probably do that because that happens to me all the time, and I'm like, "Oh, let me ask that," and then I forget all about it. Oh my gosh. I love it
yeah,
when I find things that I'm like, "I don't even know what I was talking about."
I know. That's why I do
Isn't
that
it
all the time.
crazy?
Like,
Like work
yes.
stuff?
Oh my God.
It says, "See, oh, I know what this is." This is for the computer class I had to take. It was like a computer programming class. It's all
Oh,
my
I remember
notes.
you told me you took that.
It was awful.
It was bad?
I cried so much.
No.
Yeah, maybe you'll have better luck than I do. I had a really good teacher though, so he helped a lot. Oh my gosh, I have like, look at that. It's like,
Mhm. That's detailed.
yes,
That is
it
deep. That's
goes.
detailed.
There's more.
Are you serious? Let me see. Oh my gosh. That's
Yeah.
you're like me. That's what my notes be like. I'd be
Oh,
like,
oh my gosh, Michelle, this is like 10 pages, all filled with. It's like, how did I have time
what?
to do all this?
That's wild.
That's crazy. Okay, I haven't looked at this stuff since I took the class. Well, I won't be using this notebook.
They coming in. They coming in. Ryan
Yes.
Cortez said hi. How you doing,
Hi.
Ryan? Okay.
Okay.
So, Aiden
Yep.
Christopher. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
So we got people coming in here.
Yes.
Okay, you guys. So we got 13. Okay, so let's you ready to get into it? We got 13 right
Yeah.
now.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys. So the title of this video it is working toward your dreams while going through hard times. So that's what we're going to be. Ryan Cortez. I'm
Thanks.
doing well, Emily. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You
She's
know,
doing okay.
it's a good day.
Aiden Christopher, God bless you. No, God
Oh,
bless you. God bless you
that
for
was
real.
nice.
Okay, so once again, you
Nice
guys.
people so far.
Yes, I know. Uh Kirjala, brothers and sisters, children of faith, we have gathered here today to learn how to harness the force that will call anger. Oh, I
Okay.
like that. I
For
like
some reason,
that.
I was thinking of Prince and Dearly Beloved, we are
Hey,
gathered here
we are
today.
gathered here. No, that's what I thought I was gonna read. I'm not gonna lie.
I
I thought
thought
he was
so
gonna
too.
be on some. I thought he was
Yeah,
gonna be on
we're
some
going
F
through this
stuff.
thing called life.
Imagine me saying, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered." No, but like, yes, I appreciate that. Okay, so before I get sidetracked, so you guys working toward your dreams, while going through hard times. So Emily and I pick this topic to talk about today.
Yep.
Emily, you wanna share your story and then I'll share mine.
Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. So we are going to talk about when I first had my twins, and I had this opportunity to go to school, which I should have taken when I wasn't a parent, and I didn't take it. And I just said, no, I'm good. I don't need to do this. And then my children came into the world, so they're 4. I have twin girls. And I said to myself, I have to go back to school because I need to improve my life. So, got my bachelor's degree recently, and I just got into grad school. So now, trying to navigate what that is going to look like. And life has this tendency to like throw everything at you at one time. I swear, it's like, I'm going to see what you're made of and how much you really want this. And you kind of just have to be like, okay, this is where we're at every day. Every day we got to go with it. So that's kind of where I am with things. So just riding the wave called life.
Riding the wave. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
It's all you can do. It's all you can do because you can't make things stop. So I think about this movie often, and my mom tells me about it because she's like, "You're like the mom in the movie Boyhood." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So she's a single parent and she continues to just work and work and work and continues to go to school. And she all of a sudden has her PhD.
Oh yeah, you did tell me about
Yeah,
that.
it's such a good
Wow.
movie. So, but there's this part in the movie when, she basically is like, we have to move because I have to go back to school. And if I don't go back to school, we have to continue to live this way. So she made that choice. She was like, okay, I can go to work and I can continue this life, or I can take this really big risk and I'm going to take the risk for my kids. So when you become a parent, I feel like you center your world around what's going to be best for them.
Facts. And that's
Yeah.
usually always number one. And you think
Yes.
about the kids, yeah. The kids really like they change you for the better. London changed me. I mean,
Oh, they
without
do.
London, I psh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
You always think about like, this is going to be better and it's better for me and you should do something that's better for you. But then you think like, well, I'm not going to get a stupid degree in something that I'm not going to make more money in because, like I have a friend that has a ceramics degree and I'm like, what am I going to do with a ceramics degree?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
A
She has,
ceramics
she
degree?
went to a fancy art school to get her
Oh
ceramics
wow.
degree. So, but she doesn't do anything with it. So
See, that's what I'm
it's,
saying.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mhm. So yeah, you have to think about like what is best and what's going to serve you the best, but you also think about like I have to get a degree where at least I'm earning some money because it's really expensive. One semester of school is like 10 grand. So there you go. So
I learned that they called me about financial aid. They're like, "Oh, you have to pay 404." I said, "My fast was coming." And they're like $443 for one class enrollment, and that's the class for one
don't even
class.
talk to me. Don't even talk to me.
Oh my gosh, that's nothing.
$443 for one class. I paid
Yeah,
$4,000 a semester for my bachelor's degree.
that's crazy.
It was a total of like
Oh my
at
gosh.
the end of it, 9,500. Yeah. Yeah.
Bye, Aiden. Good night. Thank you for
Bye.
coming. You said how much?
9,500 for a year of school.
I
So
believe it.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, damn.
But it's still expensive. I mean, it's still that's a lot,
Yeah, it
especially if
is.
you're like you work like you're not independently wealthy. If you're independently wealthy, then you're like, whatever, I don't care. But if it's like, oh, I have to like work for my living, it adds up.
Shh.
It adds up
When
quick.
when homeboy called, I was like, oh my god. I was like, what does this do?
What does this do?
I was like, I don't mind paying it, but let me see if my fast will come in. But not to change the topic, but
Oh
you
no.
guys. So Emily was talking about a little bit about like what she's going through. With me, you guys, I'm always kind of like all over the place. Like I don't really know. Like I have my hand in like everything, so I'm always trying to find something, do something, trying to make something happen, trying to create something, trying to do something, and I'm going to school for my nursing, but like I'm in that like that weird
Yay.
space. Like, do I want to do it? If there's something else, do I want to do business? I don't really know. But despite of going of trying to better my life and everything, and I'm pretty sure Emily can, you know, um, Becky Allen. So are you
Yeah.
saying what motivated you to go back to school to earn? Oh, what'd you say?
There's a lot of reasons. It's not just that. That's a big factor because let's be honest, we all need to make more money. I mean, I don't think that's selfish, but then there's the part of, like, my children being like, "Oh," like my bachelor's degree, "They got to go to my graduation. They got to watch mommy graduate," I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome for them to see, that I hope one day they have that experience and they're like, "I remember that day, and I want that day." So, they inspire me, but so does making more money in order to live a better life, so there's that too. So, yeah,
And you guys,
there's
this
a little bit of everything.
the question she was asked was by Becky Allen. So are you saying what motivates you to go back to school to earn more money? So I think she was talking about the degree. Yeah. Her
Yeah,
getting her degree. Okay.
but Becky, to be fair, I'm going into school for social work, so there's still, it's not like I'm gonna be rolling in money or anything like
Well, you're
that.
getting, yeah, you are. You're getting your master's.
Yeah, but still, I mean, there's better paying jobs in the world. So there's definitely the love for what I do as well. So there's
Facts.
there's a little bit of everything. So
Facts. And I also was gonna tell you guys that like with me, I don't know if Emily can relate, but I'm like trying to do all this stuff, with my life to better my life, but then there's like other things in the background that are going on. So I know a lot of people want to portray like they have like this fancy life with no problems,
mhm,
just traveling, no problems at all, and that's not my life. So,
mhm,
I'm saying I got a little bit dysfunction going on, and I'm still try to make something happen and try to become something while going through some tough times, and that's not always easy. And I don't know
no.
if Emily can relate.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yes, I can absolutely relate to that. I mean, I wish that I could say like everything works out perfectly and there's no problems with anything, but it's just I feel like this is my theory about it. The more that you grow as a human, the more challenges you're going to face. You're just going to face them because you're growing as a human. If we stay stuck and we stay in this thing, it's comfortable. I get it because if I had the option, I would stay comfortable, but then I want more and it's not enough. And then I feel like, okay, what do I do to get there? But then every time there's a big change, like a big shift in my life, it's like, oh, so life's really going to be hard for a while and you're going to have to go through it. Like I just think that every time you change and you grow, you're going to face challenges. It's not
And
it's not
no,
easy.
no. And I believe that like because I know a lot of people don't like to get spiritual, but I'm gonna get spiritual a little bit
Yeah.
because I know a lot of people. I'm not trying to anybody that's watching, I'm not trying to push religion or anything on anybody, but this is just what I believe in my religion. I talk openly about it because I'm a Christian. With me, I feel that like with me, I pray and I ask God for more, right?
Mhm.
So for me, I pray and I ask God for more. And I notice when I ask for more, he is like, okay, you want more, but can you handle more? So I feel like when we in our life, when we go through things, we're being tested to see if we're ready
Mhm.
for the blessing that he has for us, if we're ready for what we really want. So
Mhm.
back to what you were saying when you're saying that like the what did you say? You said the more when you grow as a
The
person,
more
the
you
more
grow, the
challenges.
more you're going to face adversity. It's just
And,
going to happen.
and
Nothing
yet
comes without its challenges.
facts. And
Yeah.
I believe that we have to go with that mindset. You know what I mean? Like we have to go with the mindset, okay, I want more. So I'm getting prepared to handle more because a lot of people
Mhm.
don't know when you say you want a high paying job, when you say you want a bachelor's degree, when you say you want to be an entrepreneur, when you say you want all these things, a lot comes with that. So if you can't
Mhm.
handle the stress and stuff that you're going through right now, what makes you think what you really want, you're gonna be able to handle it? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like everybody should look at it as like what I'm going through right now is preparing me
Mhm.
for what is to come. And
Yeah.
don't take it as defeat.
And that's a good way of
Yeah.
looking at it. And also too, it's a really good learning lesson to be like, okay, if you're going to go up in the world, you're going to have these challenges. And so here's your time. Here's your challenge. You're going to be able, how are you going to handle this? How are you going to cope with this? What are you going to do to like take care of yourself? What are you going to do to like, make yourself happy? I mean, there's so many factors to that you have to keep in mind. You have to learn to like, okay, let me use my coping skills. A lot of people suck with coping skills, but the more you move up, the more you're going to have to use them. You're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to have to cope. you're gonna have to make yourself a priority. There's so much involved in that. And if you just say, "Oh, it's too hard. I'm not gonna do it." You're then you're not ready. It's not the time, you know? But if you say, "Yeah, this really sucks and this is hard, but I'm gonna reach out to my support system. I'm going to reach out to," like you believe in God, so, you're reaching out to your higher power, whatever it may be, just whatever brings you that peace and makes you feel like, "Okay, I can do this. This is doable." And then if you look at all the stories of people that have gone through just so much, and it's like, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. It's really fun to hear, like,
It is.
I know it's
Yeah.
it's a movie, but, like, The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, every time I watch that movie, I'm just like, "I don't know how
Oh,
he did all
wow.
that." That movie was that
That movie was wow.
Yeah,
And
that
you
movie
know
makes
what's
me cry every time though, like, when he gets that job.
oh yes, yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. But you
yeah.
know what? He like it just when he be acting, you could just relate to and feel him through his roles with Will
Yes.
Smith. Yeah, yeah. He taps into somebody, I don't know. That's a talented
I
man
know.
right there.
I know. And yes, I've never been into the stock market, but good for him. So, that was his dream, not mine.
Right. And you know, I was gonna ask you, what coping mechanisms do you use? Because I know, like you said, like a lot of people don't have coping skills. What are some coping skills that you have that you can share?
Um, well, I make working out a priority. I like weightlifting because I feel like if I ever feel stressed about life, I have to focus because if I don't focus and I don't do this, I'm gonna drop a weight on myself or I'm gonna hurt myself. So it's like I have to really focus and really pay attention and really like be present in my body and like what's going on. I can't just,
Right.
half-ass it like something else. I mean, that it doesn't work that way. Um, Taking time to do other things. Like I think that it's good to be focused, but it's also good to have the downtime to just do like, "Oh, this is my time. I'm going to read. I'm going to do something." If you're in a space to do that. If you're not in a space to do it, I do understand that too because it's really hard to read a book when you're stressed out. So,
Boy, I never thought of it like that. It is.
yeah. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a really good thing that I've been doing lately. It's called box breathing, and you have to breathe in a certain amount and then breathe out. So basically, you're paying attention to the way your breath is going in and out, so you can't really focus on anything else. And it's really helpful. So I like guided meditations because I can like listen to something. I can't just sit in a quiet room and meditate. It never works because I start thinking about, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that,
Yeah.
So
And the second up that I do that breathing thing too. I do that too.
oh, the box
Yeah. And
breathing.
yeah, it really, really it's like it's weird. It's like it just resets my thinking and like it's like I feel like a tension in my body. And then after I do the breathing, it's just kind of like takes like the
Yes.
edge off. Yes. Yeah, it takes like the edge
Yes,
off.
absolutely. And I go to therapy too. So there's that as well. And she helps me a lot with a lot of those things. Like, just kind of acknowledging like where you're feeling stress and what you're feeling. And then we all have thoughts. I think everybody has thoughts like, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. We all have those and kind of challenging those negative thoughts and being like, okay, like fact checking yourself,
Right.
when I was trying to get into grad school, it's like, you're not going to get in, you're not smart enough. Then it's like, okay, wait a sec, let's look at the facts here. If you have a good grade point average, you wrote a great paper, you have good reviews, chances are you're going to get in. So,
Most definitely.
exactly. So it's like fact checking those negative thoughts because we all have them and we're all like, we're not good enough, we can't do this, but actually you can. So,
Yes.
yes.
You guys hear that? You can do it.
Yes,
And to second
absolutely
off the
can.
coping skills, so Emily
Uh-huh.
said that she does breathing and she does exercising. Um,
Yeah,
with
what do you
me, I
do?
do. What was that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you do?
So you guys, I used to be like a crazy, like working out, like bodybuilder type crazy, and that's how I kind of dealt with my stress. But I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I'm lazy. I don't want to do. I don't want to lift or do any of that. So with me, I like to pray a lot. So I pray a lot. Journaling. I like to journal. That helps me a lot. You know what's so crazy, Emily?
Yeah,
This is how
you're
you know
really
I be
good at
having like a
journaling.
lot. I think I told you this a lot on my plate. I will journal, and then
Mhm.
after that, I'll fall asleep.
I don't know how you do that.
Me- but that's that's a mess because it's like I got so much stuff up that I'm not saying, and I'm writing, and all of a sudden I fall asleep. It's
Probably like your
crazy.
brain's like, "I got it all out. Now I can
Yes.
like,
Ye
I'm not holding it in anymore. So now my brain says, "Okay, it's time to let it go." So,
yes, yes. And another thing
yeah.
I was gonna say, I like to watch funny videos. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to watch funny videos. So I mean, you guys, I'm still learning coping skills. They probably think
Uh,
I'm crazy. I didn't know about self-care, you guys. I didn't know about anything. I was just kind of like taught to just kind of deal with it head on,
yeah.
just deal with things. I didn't really know walking and this and that and exercise. I'm barely learning
Yeah.
it now at 33. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Good evening from Call Me 6.
What it do?
Hi.
Hello.
Just give us a I saw one of 20 of RC24 game. I don't
What
what
do you
is
say,
that?
bro? Give me a subscription of RC25. I don't know. I don't even play games. I don't know what that is.
Okay. It's like, I don't know either.
I'm
Maybe
like,
you know, and I'm just like, I don't know.
no. But I also wanted to say because I said I wrote down like what do you do like when you are sad or you're feeling like defeated? Because I know a lot of people feel defeated. And it's so easy to
Mhm.
feel like that with the world we live in now where everybody is like it's all about what's that word? Aesthetics
Uh-huh.
and how
Yeah.
everything looks and stuff like that. And everybody's comparing themselves. It's like
Mhm.
so what do you do when you're sad or you're feeling defeated?
Well, the first thing I need to do is I just need to cry about it. Like, I don't care. I don't
Oh,
get upset about it
I
though.
hate crying.
Sometimes I hate it too, but I love it at the same time, especially like sometimes I'm like, I just need to cry and I know I'm gonna feel better. Like, and so I'll watch something that makes me like induces tears. So I'm just like, okay, I got it out. But like once I do it, I'm like, okay, I feel better now. I can it depends. It depends on what I'm crying about. Like if it's something, like little that, I'm like, oh, I feel kind of defeated. But when it's something big, it's yeah, I need to cry because I'll just hold it all in. And then I feel like, oh gosh, I can't breathe, and then I get anxiety and then all the other things, and I'm just like, it's not worth it. So I cry.
You
I
cry?
cry.
I
Yeah.
don't like crying, and what's so crazy is that when I'm about to cry, I say, "Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry," don't cry. And then tears, "Don't cry, don't cry." So I like that you said that because I've never been a crier.
Oh, I
I
mean,
I no,
I cry when I get mad though. So it really pisses me off because I'm like, I'm
bro.
not sad, I'm mad, you
Wow,
know?
see, like even at my dad's funeral, I didn't cry, and people were like, "What's going on?" But I was
Yeah,
so numb. Everybody else was like,
right.
"Oh my gosh!" Like everybody else was like falling out, passing out. It was bad, but I was like just
Yeah,
numb. But I didn't like people to see
yeah.
me cry. Like I was just that
I
strong.
don't either. I
No,
don't cry
no,
in
no, no,
public. I'm
no.
not a public crier. I'll go in my car, like, I would see you and I'd be like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm great, everything's good." And then the minute I get to my car, I'm like,
Did you
so
see
I
that
have to
video
be
of that
really
dude that
upset.
was crying? You ever see that video that was that dude that was crying and frustrated? He was like, and then he was like, did you see that? Did you ever see that video? I'm gonna
Oh,
have to send it to you.
send
And
it
they
to
were
me.
like, this is me like after a stressful day, and he was not having it. He was, and I love that video. He was not having it, and he was socking the seat, and I was like, I felt that. I felt that.
Oh, we've all had those days.
Yeah.
So, I have definitely, like, screamed in my car, but I don't hit my car because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, I'd probably hurt myself or break my car or something." Something would happen.
Yeah. So let me
So
see.
Call Me Sick said he usually you or sorry, he or she usually stay to myself. Yeah,
Okay, so when you get sad, you
I
kind of
do that. I like
and
to stay to myself too. I don't
yeah,
wanna
and I
bring it up
second
on
that.
anybody else.
No, and I don't like you know how a lot of people call me six. Like I don't know if you know a lot of people that kind of project when they're going through stuff and they take it out on everybody else. I'm not that type of person. So if I'm going through
Totally.
something, I'm not gonna take it out on you. I'm gonna deal with it behind closed doors. But you're
Mhm.
never gonna know what I'm dealing with because it's not their problem. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he said
He.
it's
Okay,
six.
he. Okay,
Didn't I say
thank you.
he?
Well, I said she or he because I didn't
Oh,
know. So
oh.
that's I think what
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a yeah. So I was like, you, and that's what's up because I can't stand when people are going through stuff and they take it out on other people. And I call people
Yes.
out on that. I'm like, hey, like, you got, I don't know if you experience this, Emily, where you come
Oh,
across people that are rude as hell. And I'm like, hey, like, is your day
I've
okay?
had
Like, what's
bad
going
days,
on?
yeah.
Yeah, like what's going on? So
I can't stand that, and I won't do that either. Like, even if I'm in my feelings, I can get on the phone. Like today, I was having a hard day, and I went to a meeting, and the minute I walked in, I was all ready, and I'm like, "Hi, how's it going? How's your day?" They would have never known because it's not their problem. Like, why am I
no.
gonna project that on them?
Mm-mm.
It's not their problem, and I don't like to really talk about my feelings, and I'm like, "I don't wanna talk to you," and plus I'm at work, so, like, I think that that's really important because nobody needs to be a punching bag because you're having a bad day.
But a lot of people don't know how to separate the two.
I
And
know!
that's frustrating. That's
Yes.
frustrating. Yes, they don't know how to separate the two. You gotta learn how to separate the two. You got
Yeah,
to.
I mean,
Yeah.
even if, like, and I think we've spoken about this before where I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've definitely cried on the way to meetings," and then I go in the meeting, I breathe, and then I'm like, "Okay, I'm good, I can do this,"
I
and
told
then
you I'd be cussing somebody out. Then, hey, how was everybody doing? Like you wouldn't even think I just cussed somebody out. You wouldn't even,
Right.
yeah, like you wouldn't even know. So I mean, I think that's strength. You tell me, I think that shows strength and
I think
emotional
so.
intelligence when you're able to like, separate the two. I
Well,
feel like
yeah,
just
exactly,
yes,
because,
yeah,
like, I mean, my girls are 4, and there's times that they're like, "Well, I did that because 'cause I'm mad," but they're also 4. They're still learning to process, that makes sense, but it's crazy the amount of adults that walk around and just say, "I'm sorry, I was having a bad day," and they attack somebody, and it's like, well, that's not their problem.
I
So,
teach my daughter that all the time. I'm like when she's
hi,
upset about
Aiden.
something.
Aiden's back.
Oh, hi, Aiden. I teach my daughter that too. Like when she's going through something, we're
Mhm.
like, if she's mad about something, we go in the store or something that she's moping. I'm like, look, we're not moping. You know what I mean? Whatever you're
That
going through,
just
you got to
brings
think.
everybody else
It
down
you
too. Yeah,
yes. And
yeah.
I teach her strength. A lot of people don't think that's a good idea, but I don't want to
No.
raise I don't want to raise no weak little girl. That's just my opinion. I want to
Yeah,
raise a
or it's a
mentally
time and a
strong.
place, and there's a
Yes.
time and a place for it. Like, okay, have a moment, and that's okay. That's okay to have a moment, but you don't need to, like, you know, because I feel like the more you just sit in your emotions, the harder things get. They don't get
Right.
better. They don't
No.
get better when you're trying to mope around. I mean, it makes you feel worse, you know? Like, I mean, there's definitely times that I'm like, I don't really want to talk. I'm not in the greatest mood, but I'm not going to like project that on people and I'll talk. I
Right.
just don't want to be really overly friendly and talk to you because I'm not ready for that yet. But I don't think it's me moping. I think it's me just saying, I know my spot right now and I have nothing to say. So I'm
And
just
there's
gonna stay
nothing
to
wrong with
myself.
that. And there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that. And you know what? To
right.
second off of that, I used to be a projector. So like if someone
Oh,
makes me mad, I'm like mad. And then they're talking to me, I'm like, don't say nothing to me. Don't say nothing to me. And I'm like mad at everybody, but that's just wrong. Let me see. Becky Ellen said, I think everyone should have that person though they could vent to. What is your opinion about
yes.
that, Emily?
Oh,
Yes,
I
I
totally
agree.
agree.
I
I
agree.
totally agree. I mean, and it all depends. I mean, because if you have your person and you're just like, "I'm really pissed and I just need to talk about it," that's completely reasonable. I have my people like that where I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this has been a rough day. Let me just talk about it and get it out of my head." But you it depends. It depends on who you're around, like, there's some people that I'm like, "No, you don't deserve to hear what I have to say," so I'm keeping it to myself. So,
Excuse me.
but
The
yeah.
biggest mistake I made is venting to people that didn't mean me well, or venting to people
Yes.
that were jealous of me. Because when I vent, they use it against me, or they tell other people. And I feel like when it
That's
comes to
awful.
terrible.
That's
But
so shitty.
and I also think when it comes to venting to people, you should be able to vent to somebody that you don't have to. You could talk freely. You don't got to worry about
Totally.
anything, and you could be yourself.
Right,
I'd rather talk to
exactly.
strangers. I don't, hey, some strangers be
I mean,
listening ears. You don't even know
oh
them.
my gosh, I had to pay a bill one time, and this guy that I talked to on the phone, I was on the phone with him for an hour, and he was telling me about his grandkids. He was telling me about how he lived in New York, and I was like, just eating it up and, just chatting with him. I mean, like, I was like, "I just had to pay my bill, and I've been on the phone with you for an hour."
And you
It's
know what?
awesome.
And that's so
Because once
funny
I
because,
start talking, I talk a lot.
but you know what? I was gonna say that I remember when we were trying to find a house, and I was so frustrated with the process of it. And I
Yeah.
told the woman, I was like, "Look, like I'm about to be effing done. Like I'm so frustrated." And I let her
Mhm.
know. And she sat on the phone with me and helped me through it, but I was about to quit. So I'm like,
Aw,
yeah, I
that's
told her, I was like, I can't
awesome.
do this anymore. I did this, I did that, I can't sign it. Like it was so frustrating, but and she was
But
a
she was
stranger.
nice about it. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a
And she
stranger.
just worked you
So
through your problem.
she
Yeah.
did. So call me six when you say you rather talk to strangers. Sometimes strangers, they ain't gonna see you again. They just gonna lose it. Yeah.
Exactly, like the guy I talked to with the bill, I'm like, "I'm never gonna talk to you again, but have a great life,"
I
and
mean, yeah.
even this guy, I was like, 65. I mean, he sounded like he was in his 30s, and I'm like, I know I can't see your face, but I was like, 65? Wow," and he's like
65?
yeah, he was 65.
Wow, that's cool. That's
Yeah, and I
wild.
was like, "Okay, you have grandkids and, all this other stuff, and you're still working," and, I think it started because he was really nice. He's like, "How's your day? Tell me about your day," and I was like, "Nobody ever asks about your day." Nobody does.
No.
So when people
I,
do ask, I'm like, I've started to do that though. Like I went into Goodwill the other day and I said, "How's your day going?" And the lady gave me a coupon. I was like, "Okay."
but
Nobody
you know
asked
what?
you how
Because
your
a
day
lot of
is.
people ask you how your day, but I don't think they really care about how your day is going.
Yeah,
Family and friends tend to be judgmental.
they
Listen,
can. Oh, they
man,
can.
listen. I have to
Oh,
cut so many family members off, man. They're just more. They could be more toxic than than a friend, than someone that's not related to you.
yeah,
And I'm like, yeah. So he said friends and
yeah.
family. Yeah,
Or
most
you have
definitely.
those friends that try to tell you, like, well, if it were me, this is what I would do. Nobody asked you. Like, I mean, you can offer and say, "Hey, do you want me to offer advice?" And if I say, "Yes, I would love to hear your advice," then go ahead, share.
Right.
But when people just like decide, "No, this is what you should do. This is exactly what you should do." No, you're not me.
Or like when you have people that like they're not in a better position than you. If they're trying to tell you
Exactly.
how to do things, and you're like, you're not even like doing better than me. How can you sit here and tell me something and give me advice? Like that's what's crazy. Like if somebody's in a in the same or a better
Yeah.
position than me, then I'll listen to what you have to say because we can connect. But I'm
Right,
like,
right,
you're not doing
exactly.
shit. How you gonna sit here and tell me something?
Right.
Or judge you and
Yeah.
they're not doing better than you. That's why I don't.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's kinda like the people that suck at money and then they tell you like, "Well, this is what you should do to manage your money."
I'm
And
like,
it's like,
you're broke
"Well,
as hell. How you gonna tell me something? Like, what? Like,
there's
that's
always
wild. And
there's
I was
always
also gonna
somebody."
ask you,
Uh-huh.
how do you fight through sadness when you have those days where you're just like, man, I can't shake it. Do you sometimes give into it? Like, how do you fight through that and still see the light at the end of at the end of the tunnel?
I feel like and I don't know. I feel like sometimes I never wanna come off negative, so hopefully that's not the case, but I think deep inside, like, internally, I'm actually a really positive person, and I do believe
You are,
that,
yeah,
like,
you are.
things are going to work out,
Mhm.
and I think because I have that genuine mindset that, like, "Oh, this is hard," and then it's almost like too and I know for you, it's God, for me, it's not, but, it's that internal voice that says, like, "Yeah, you're going through this hard time, but things are gonna get better." Like, there's always that
Facts.
voice, and I don't like the people that use it like toxic positivity, like, "Just be positive, just be positive." You're allowed to be sad, and that's okay to be sad, and you can feel your feelings and all that stuff, just don't let them consume you, like,
Facts.
feel it and acknowledge it and work with it and then let it go. But at one point, you just have to go, "Okay, I felt this, and there's nothing I can do but move forward." And if you
Right.
genuinely believe that, like, things are going to, like, work out, you can get out of that space,
You
but
can.
you have to really truly, like, believe in what you're trying to do, I mean, if it was something like, I don't know, let's say a law degree, and I was like, wanted a law degree. I don't want a law degree. So I'd be like, I'm just gonna give up because this is too hard because I don't want to be a lawyer, But
Right.
with the social work degree, it means a lot to me. So it's like, yeah, this is hard. This is a challenge. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I can do it. Like, just I don't know. I genuinely believe, and this is, like, just a, like, affirmation of mine. I feel like the universe will always provide you with what you need.
Facts.
So, I mean, it could be God, it could be whatever you believe in, but I
Right.
just think that you're gonna get what you need, and just sometimes you just have to go through it, but everybody has to go through those hard
I
times
know.
and
And I was gonna say that to second back on that, fighting through sadness, don't avoid it. I know that I used to avoid
Mhm.
a lot of things and avoid it. I was also gonna say that just really sitting with it. That's hard for
Yeah.
me. I don't like
Oh,
sitting
it's
with stuff.
so hard, I
So me
know.
sitting with stuff and just sitting and feeling and going through the emotions and working through it, I was the avoidance. Like no.
Totally.
So I would say me, sitting in it, and I don't give myself more than like 2 days to like get over something, or be
Yeah.
like, okay, it's time to get up.
2
You sat there 2 days.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah, I give myself like 2 days.
yeah.
That's it. And then after that, I just got to get up, push past it. But I was gonna say that that feeling's overwhelming though. That feeling is
Oh my
overwhelming. That to
god.
work through that feeling of feeling overwhelmed and defeated
Yeah.
and sad, the sadness.
Mhm.
Phew.
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy, like, what the brain will do. Like, all of a sudden, you have this, like, little it might be a little problem, maybe it's a big problem, I don't know, but you just really don't know, like, what it is, but your
Right.
brain can
Correct.
make it huge,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it'll, like,
Yes.
make it bigger, it's like a snowball effect, and, like, all of a sudden, it's something little like I forgot to pay my bill. Then all of a sudden it's like, I forgot to pay my bill. And then I'm going to lose my house. And then I'm going to be homeless. And then, you can just keep going and going and going. So, like, at some point, you have to be like, okay, I'm going to fact check this and say, okay, at this time, I will do this. I will pay my bill. And then I won't have to worry about being homeless. And then I don't have to worry about this because most things you can work out. But if you keep letting it pile up, that's just going to cause anxiety on top of like feeling sad.
Yes. And you know what
That's
else?
not a
I was
fun combination.
No. And I was gonna say it's not really that severe. So we gotta train our minds. And even if it's
Yeah,
bad, just train our minds and see the good in things and know that it's not as severe as we make it. Because I noticed that with
yeah.
me, I overthink and I make something huge. And then once I
Mhm.
process it, I'm like, it's not really that big of a deal. So, like you said, just not. And then when you said, did I pay my bills? You know, my heart dropped and I was thinking, did I miss any bills? That's like that.
Right.
My heart dropped. I was like, "Did I miss any
Uh-huh.
bills?"
Oh, I've done it before with the SRP bill, and then my electricity will turn off for a minute, and then I have to, like, get on the app and it's not a big deal because the minute I put money on it, it turns back on, but it's
But
like,
that's
"Oh,
easy to
no."
forget. That's
It
easy to
is easy to
forget.
forget.
Yes. I have to think, I'm like, "Wait, did I pay all my bills?" Like,
Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. So
Becky
much.
said, "I agree with call me 6." Okay, she said, "I agree with call me 6" when he said
Family and
that.
friends tend to be judgmental. Yeah.
They
Yes.
do, they do. And I don't know if this is bad. I have family members that I love, but I don't like
Yeah.
their ways and their decision.
You love
I don't
them, you don't like them in
I
certain
don't
ways. Yes.
know.
Yeah.
No. And I have a lot of family members that if they was to get on here, I will cuss them out right now. And that's not when I
That
hear their
bad,
voice,
really?
yeah, they're triggering. They're triggering and
Yeah.
I don't do them like that. So it's like you have to know like you know what I mean? You
Mhm.
also have to know like
Oh, I've ended
boundaries and
friendships because I've been like, "Oh, no, 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 this isn't gonna work for me," or "You trigger me in a weird way, and I need to keep myself safe."
yes, but you know what?
Yeah,
Another thing I
protect
was gonna
yourself.
say, it helps me because it helps me tame and learn how to work through those feelings. Because when
Mhm.
I hear a certain family member's voice, my heart start pounding, and I just feel like,
Oh, no.
and I'm like, so, but it helps me go
Yeah.
back to my emotional intelligence and learn how to like work through those feelings and not be triggered.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that can be the hardest thing. Family and friends can be the most triggering.
Oh, you want to read
Mhm.
what Call Me Six said?
Yeah, I grew up in a dysfunctional family and don't talk to most of them for my own mental health, and as you should. This
Mm-mm.
is part of the misconception, I think, about, like, family is you get to pick who is in your life. I have excommunicated people out of my family or friends that I'm like, I can't do it with you. It's not safe for me, I don't feel healthy."
Mark, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I'm so
I'm so
sorry,
sorry.
Mark. Oh, are you do you have, like, a connection of people to talk to? That's a lot to go through.
That's sad.
So, yeah, that's very sad. But, yeah, you don't you get to choose who you want in your life, and I think that, I had to decide that for myself, like, when my girls were born, like, who is a good role model for them, and who's gonna be good for them, and who's going to not be good, and that's how I based my decision.
Oh, Becky said
Oh,
Cindy. I
send
think Mark. It was Mark.
yeah,
Yeah, Becky
my
Allen. It was
condolences
Mark.
to Mark.
So Mark, Becky Allen, she's sending condolences to you and your mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's like when you're dealing with dysfunctional people or dysfunctional family members and they're going through their stuff, it's like I got tired of them always trying to make me seem like a bad person because
mhm,
they see something in me that they don't have. Or you know what I mean? Or
mhm,
they're insecure and they don't like, you know, I don't how do I say this? Like how do I say this without being like just flat out making someone seem like trash?
I mean, it's hard to do sometimes,
Yeah, I'm
but
like it's just mentally draining when you're dealing with certain family members
yeah,
that are never gonna change their ways, no matter what.
yeah,
Like you can't control your family members and you can't change their
mhm,
mindsets, but you can
right,
change yours. And the more you
totally,
change who you are and the more you grow and the more you heal, your healing is gonna allow you to see more flaws in that family member and that friend.
mhm,
That's another
yeah,
thing. When I was
yeah.
around negative people and negative family members and friends, I didn't really see it because I was dysfunctional and like them and
Because you
not
were in
growing.
it, you
I was
lived
in
in it.
it. I
Yeah,
was in it. And
exactly. You were full-fledged in it.
yes. So you know that once you're in something, it don't bother you because
Yeah,
like y'all all dysfunctional. And then once you start cleaning up your life, that's when you're able to really sit back and be like, what the hell am I into? Like, what is going on?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think the biggest thing for me was, like, how do you make me feel after I hang out with you? Like, if you make me feel inspired and, like, I had a good conversation and we talked and it was, like, a two-sided conversation where both of us communicated back and forth, I'm happy. That's been a great conversation, but if you're spending the whole time, like, complaining to me and I'm just sitting there like, "Mhm, mhm," I feel like at that point, you should just be paying me for therapy services.
Listen, and that's my problem. Like when it comes to like friends, I feel like back in the past,
Mhm.
I have friends that it's not compatible. I feel like they're
Overtaking the
I'm pouring more into them and
yeah,
they're not adding value to my life. They're draining me. So it's like
yeah,
I'm your therapist. I'm here. I'm there. I'm pouring into you, but it's
yeah.
one-sided friendship. And a friendship, in my opinion, shouldn't be like that.
No, it should never be
No.
that way because both people have things going on, and it should be like, "Oh, okay, I how are you doing? What's going on with you?" Not just me, 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 me.
No.
Everything is about me.
Call me sick said it's hard because I understand why I can't help them. Bro, you can't. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And you will spend your whole life trying to change them, man. Don't
Mhm.
even I'm
People
telling you,
don't
you can't.
change unless they want to.
No, no. One of my family members, he I ain't gonna say no names, but he said something that triggered me, and I was real close. I was like, okay, Ma, you work so hard not to don't jump out of character. And when
Mhm.
I was talking to him, I told him about himself. But what I told him, his response was the same response he would give me years ago.
Yeah.
This all you can do is
Yeah.
just pray for them and just wish them well from afar, bro. I'm telling you, don't wish, don't you just it's just
Yeah.
draining. You don't
You're
deserve that.
never going to change that. It's just not going to happen. You cannot change people and you're going to spend so much time. So you have to decide, is this person someone, do they bring value to my life? And that's how I always have to look at it. Like, what do you bring into my life? What value are you bringing me? Like, do we have a good relationship where I feel safe with you, where I can tell you things about myself that are going to stay with you and you genuinely have my best interest in mind? Or is it
Facts.
you're trying to make me feel like shit so you feel better?
Just like that ex, some of y'all be going back to, and y'all keep going
Oh,
back to them, and you notice they
don't.
ain't changed that one goddamn bit. They ain't changed. They ain't changed.
No.
They the same every time you go back. That's what I'm talking about.
It is
And you think every time they're gonna change, they're gonna change, they're gonna
yeah,
change. And then
they never
no.
do. They
No, they
never
never
do.
do. No.
It's so funny because I almost made this YouTube video where I was talking about, like, TikTok videos, and, like, TikTok has these, like, filters you can use where it's like, "That's my man, not yours," and I'm like, "If you have to, like, fight over a guy, you're wasting your time. Nobody has time for all that.
I'll
Like,
be
if I have to worry about what you're doing, it's not worth it to me."
so I have a question. So let's say it's a scenario. This is just crazy,
Okay,
hypothetical. Just
okay.
doing something fun.
I love
So
hypothetical
if
conversations.
if somebody comes up to you, let's say like if you're in high school or something, and a girl's like, "Hey, that's my man. We just gonna have to fight." What is your response?
It's not
What
worth
is your
it.
response?
It's not worth it. Why would I fight over it? Like, are you really
That's
that important?
crazy.
Like, are you really
That's
that
crazy.
are you really that concerned about having a boyfriend that you're going to go to all this? Like, aren't you more important? Because this is the thing about this is just my opinion. Sorry for the men in here. Men don't care about that stuff. They care about it's an attention thing. It's like a, oh, they're fighting over me. But, if you're strong and you're independent, real men are going to like that about you.
Facts.
All men love that. Well, men that feel secure with themselves will like that.
Let's say for the men in the back in the chat. For the men in
Yes.
the back in the chat,
Now,
I
if
feel
they
like
want a
men that
bunch
are
of
secure.
drama, if they want drama, then yeah, like I've met tons of men that I'm like, okay, this is fun for you, isn't it? You like this drama, but it's not worth it. And honestly, it's just a guy. Like they're not that great. There's a million of them in the world. You can find a better one.
And you know what? I was gonna say that I feel like fighting over a guy is just scum, trash, dirt. Because it's
Yes,
like it just makes you feel like it just makes you feel like I feel like for me, my self-esteem is higher. I'm better than that. I'm better than trying to fight you over a guy.
yes.
I'm better than
Why
that. You're better than that.
he should just pick you. If he's worth it, he'll just pick you. Why do you care? But it's
Exactly.
the same to like the people that would lose a friendship over a man. Like I'm gonna cheat on you or whatever with your friend. So your friend now all of a sudden is like this guy's more important than our friendship. You know? Yeah, yeah.
And
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of people pick relationships over friendships. I don't believe in that. So I
I
don't
would
that's just
never
me. I
do
don't
that
believe I
because
don't
I'm
believe in
gonna
that.
need
I
my
don't believe in that.
friends because at the end of the day, like there's so many people that I've been like, oh, they're my forever. I love them so much, and
What
no.
she say? Let me see. So six guy, he's
Well,
laughing.
I
Becky
may fight
said
over
that's
my
why you don't go
husband.
back. Yeah, she said that's why you don't go back then, LOL. Then she said there's too many men in the world to fight over one. Well, I might
Exactly.
fight over my husband though, LOL.
Oh, that's cute though.
Tommy Six said if I fight over someone, it's defending them. And when
Oh,
they
that's
can't
nice.
defend themselves. You know what? I wish I saw a bully because I will tell the bully, hey, come over here. Let me really show you what's but yeah, okay. So to second back, so you guys, Emily says she's not fighting over no dude. If a girl approach her, she'll be like, "It's really not worth it. We're better than this."
We are better than this. Come on now. Like this is okay, and I'm gonna go into the feminism thing. I'm sorry for the guys in here, but women are really the more like I don't know, in my opinion, I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we lowering our standards? Like, why are we doing this? We're
Right.
just as amazing and strong, maybe even stronger. Women have to work so much harder for everything.
I was gonna say something. I
What?
was gonna say, you probably think I'm crazy. I was like, you're probably like, no, like we're not gonna fight over this. We can talk like this, like adults over
We
coffee.
can
How
talk
about
like
that?
adults. Yes.
Over
Let's go
coffee.
out to
Let's go.
coffee and let's talk
And we
about
can
the positive and
talk.
negative. Tell me the positive. What will this bring your life?
What's going on? Let's go.
Okay,
I can
if that ever happens, I will be calling you and I'll be like, "Hey, do you want to meet for coffee?"
Oh, I can see you. Hey, we're not doing
Okay.
this. Like, what's
Okay,
going on?
Michelle's gonna talk about the negatives. I'll talk about the positives.
Positive, and
So
we'll
is this worth it? And how
keep.
are we gonna fight?
Call me six. Say women can be vicious, bro. No, that's
Yeah.
facts.
Mhm.
That's fact. And when it comes over men, I had a few women on my phone, and I was just like, I'm not. I'm like, first of all, like I was like, I'm not even mad at you. The dude's the problem, and he's lying to the both of us. So what we look like, what we look like fighting over
Exactly.
somebody that's it's not worth it. Like I'll be honest, if somebody comes up to me about my man or something, I wouldn't fight. But if they touch me,
That's different.
I mean,
That's
that's
totally
different, but then
yeah.
if they touch me, we'll both go to jail. So I don't even think it's not even worth it. Cause you know, in Arizona, if y'all both fight,
Yeah.
y'all both going to jail. So I'm like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah, could you imagine all of a sudden you go to jail and you're like, "Why'd I go to jail for a guy?"
That's what exactly,
And then
exactly. I don't think
everybody
it's
like,
worth it.
I just feel like everyone would be like, Why would you do that? Why would you?" And then if you tried to get into nursing school, you tried to be a nurse, that's gonna go on your record.
I know. That's why I'm like,
No
it's not.
fighting over yeah,
And
so
but you know what? And when you're younger, you don't think about stuff like that.
no,
Like
you
even
don't.
when I was younger, I've done a lot of things that I didn't think about, and but caught up to me now as an adult. So now it taught me like, look, like, and I can tell anybody, any women out there, it's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's gonna come back and bite you. Like, don't
It
even,
always
man.
will.
It's not. It's
It
fun in the
always
moment.
will.
I sound crazy, but the thrill is fun.
I'm
It's
yeah,
it's fun
yeah.
in the moment, but it's not worth it. No.
No, no, especially
Mm-mm.
if, like, something bad happened. Because I remember my mom telling me the story, and it was 2 kids at school, and they were fighting over a guy, and one girl got killed. Like, they punched her in a
What?
way that the blood went down her throat, and she choked on her blood and died. So, she'd always be like, because there were 2 girls, this was when I was, like, I don't know, in 4th grade, and there were 2 girls that are like, "We're gonna fight over this guy," and she's like, "You shouldn't fight over this guy because this happened to me," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
See,
could you
but
imagine? And then you're in trouble, like, you go to jail for murder
and
or
it
prison,
takes
I
it,
guess.
but it could be just
Yeah,
one little small, like one small thing
yeah.
can mess up and change your whole entire life,
Absolutely,
and it can
absolutely.
go
What if you punched
left.
them the wrong way and they had brain damage? Then you'd be
Something
like, "I gave someone brain damage over this guy, and the guy
that's
is probably
crazy.
not that great anyway. He's probably a guy with, like, 7 kids that doesn't do anything with his time," and, you know,
I
you're
don't know.
gonna
I
be
don't
like,
know if
"Why did
you.
I waste my time?"
I don't know if you ever seen this video, and I don't know if you have you heard that song "Paranoid."
Mhm.
It's like, I think these this what he
Yeah.
said, I think these trying to set me up. And they show this guy, this guy get confronted by 2 girls, and they're
Oh,
like, "Oh, you're talking to her, you're," and then they start beating the dude up and hitting him with the belt.
yeah.
I was like, it was the funniest video ever, but I was like,
Yeah.
okay, okay, I see y'all having each other's back, but
It's just
it's just dysfunctional. It's just
yeah.
dysfunctional. I'm not gonna encourage dysfunction, you guys. I'm not. It was a
No,
funny
no, but
video.
it's just it's funny.
It
It's
was
funny.
funny as heck, and he was all,
Yeah.
and they're
Yeah.
they're like, "You're lying to the both of us." Anyway,
Yeah.
I just wanted to be toxic for a little bit.
Right.
So let's give
So
us.
on that topic, because I did have a question. So if you know, let's say hypothetically again, you date somebody, but they have a history of cheating. Do you get involved with them? And if you do, whose fault is it? Yours or the guy's?
That's a good question. That's a good question.
Because you
Okay,
know,
so
let's say you know.
I know he's a cheater.
Yeah, you know he's a cheater. Yeah.
Okay, I know he's a cheater. If he cheats, is it my fault because I knew he was a cheater?
Yes.
Okay, well, the first thing I will say is that we have to have an understanding. So if I
Totally.
know his history, so I believe in understanding. I feel like if you and the other person have an understanding of how it's gonna go, and you know how this person
Mhm.
is, I feel like it's y'all got to come to an agreement. So, but the
Okay.
thing is, I'm gonna be honest. For me, cheating's never been a deal breaker. So
Okay. Okay.
that's kind of different for me because I feel like there's
Mhm.
other bigger things going on than cheating.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So with me, so that's just someone said, hell no, won't give them the time of
I'm
day.
actually gonna go with call me six because
Oh,
I'm like, oh,
so
that's
that's a non-negotiable?
the thing. I am a very honest, open person. So if you come to me and you just say, look, I want to be in a relationship with you. However, I can't stay in a committed relationship. I know what I'm walking into. I know exactly what is going on. So if that happens, I get pissed because I don't like the lying thing. So
That's
if
what I'm
you're
saying.
saying
That's why I said
that,
understanding. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and you're saying like, "No, I don't cheat. I've never cheated." That's and you're gaslighting. That's not okay because you don't
Mm-mm.
make me feel crazy. You just tell me. Just say I can't stay committed. And if they don't stay committed and I choose to get in that relationship, Well, it's their fault because they shouldn't cheat. However, I also knew what I was walking into. So,
Facts. Yeah, so
so
I was like, if you know the person has a problem, I think it would be, would it be on you or no? If you knew they had a
yeah.
problem.
I mean, honestly, and I'm gonna be realistic here because I feel like there's a lot of, like, media that, like, really is like, "Oh, this guy, he was this way, and then he met me, and he changed for me, and I can change people." You can't change anybody.
No.
So, if you're going in with that mentality, like, "I can change them. All they need is a good woman, and then they're good to go." I don't believe that to be true.
A
That's
lot of women have that
complete
mindset
garbage.
though. You know that,
I
right?
know!
A
That's
lot of
why I
women
bring it
think
up.
that's crazy. That's you
Yeah.
can't change no man. Only the man can change. A man can change himself, and that's
Yeah,
it. You
if he
can't
was
change a
okay,
man.
yes. If he was going to therapy, let's say he was in therapy and he's like, "I realize I have a problem and I want to get better and I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to keep in contact with my therapist and this is what I'm gonna do." But if I get to a point where, like, I'm worried about what you're doing, which I don't wanna ever get to that point with anybody. I don't wanna be tracking their phones and worrying about what they're doing. I don't have time.
Oh my, you know that, that is draining. That's so draining.
So
I don't know how
draining.
people keep up with that. Tracking phones. I don't even look at
No.
phones. I don't believe in that. I don't want nobody looking through my phone,
Exactly.
and I'm not gonna look through no. It's just
Yeah,
it's too much. My mom used to always tell me all the time. She's like, all that stuff is too much energy. There's more things
it
going on.
is.
There's more important things that you're trying to do in your life than to be. If you gotta chase down and track somebody like that, they're not for you.
It
And
is
that's facts.
not worth it.
No,
Exactly.
I don't even have
Exactly.
that type of energy.
I don't have energy to, like, I don't even know how to turn on my own location on my phone. Like, I don't do it. So if I have to worry and if somebody was like, "Well, why are you here? You said you were going here at this time." No.
No, yeah. I don't even believe in having locations. I
No.
just feel like I feel like if you're with somebody, you guys should be able to trust each other, and
Totally.
that's it. It shouldn't be, it's like a prison. Like, like a prison, you checking their phone, you're tracking. I
Oh,
don't I
okay.
don't yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I mean
Oh,
it's
I
like a
was like,
prison.
I thought you were talking about, like, literal prison. I was like,
No, no,
"You
no.
check on your
It's
phone
like
in
a
prison."
prison.
I
If
see.
you're
Yes.
like, yeah, if someone's
I
like,
get what you're
where
saying.
you at? What time? What the like, nah,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Well, yeah, so I had a friend that she did that. So she was with a man and she, like, married a woman, and the woman was really fearful of it. So, like, she used to track her location. At first, she's like, "'Cause you work in mental health, I wanna keep you safe." But then she would say, like, "Oh, you're near your ex's house. What are you doing over there?" That would
What?
make me so uncomfortable. Like, I don't need to lie to you. I'll tell you exactly where I am.
That's
Like,
just too.
and the
That's
thing
that
is,
seems
we were
crazy.
getting coffee. It was the 2 of us. I was with her.
No.
Like,
And some
I'm
people
like,
make you
"Well."
FaceTime and stuff like that's just too much. Yeah, that's too
Yeah,
much.
exactly,
No. I don't know how
exactly.
people can be in like controlling relationships. I mean, it's easier said than done, but I like you could say like I can say all day like, oh, I don't want to be in like a controlling relationship or I don't want to do that, and then like I can end up in
Yeah,
one. Like you just never. I don't like to speak on nothing because I never been in. I don't like to speak on
yeah.
people's situations. Yeah,
No,
because
because
you just
everybody
never
has
know.
them, and everybody has their tolerances and what feels comfortable to them, and it just doesn't it makes me uncomfortable. So,
Yeah, just like
and
I
it
was
sounds
saying
like
with
it does the
cheating.
same with you. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and that's
Like
that's what I
you
was
said,
saying
that's
with.
not a deal breaker for me, and
But
that's
for other
fine. That's
people, it is.
yeah,
Other women said one
exactly.
time that they're done. Yeah. So I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. Other woman's like, nope. You cheat on me. That's it. I'm like,
Yeah, and that's the decision you have to make for yourself, and some people are okay going back, and some people are like, "Nope, can't do it."
call me six. If I know it's in their nature, I won't waste my time. Okay. So he
Okay.
said that if he knows the person a cheater, he's not even gonna waste his time. He said it's just nasty.
Well, it's also exhausting because if you're worried about it,
You're
it's
playing with your life, bro. I mean, that's the thing. You
yeah,
gotta know, like, if you know you got triggers, or like you don't have the tolerance for that.
yeah,
You gotta know if you know
exactly.
you don't need to be with nobody that's a cheater. If you know you don't play against, you got temper. If you know you don't need to be with no, you don't need to be in that. I feel
Yeah.
like you gotta recognize who you are and how you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you need to know what's a deal breaker and what's like, I could look past that because I mean, there's certain things that I could probably look past and be like, "Okay, that's alright,"
What
you
can
know?
you look past? That's all.
Oh
What can?
gosh, I know. I was trying to think of
Okay, you
one
don't have to
too.
share. You don't have to share. I was
Oh,
just
I
gonna.
don't care. I'm not worried about it. What can I look past?
Yeah. What can you look past?
Oh, what can
S.
I?
Yes. STD, jealous, other person, etc. Yeah. STDs, bro. Jealous. That's just too much. That just sound
Yeah.
like just
Okay, I was
way too
like, that
much
sounds
going
like a
on.
deal breaker
That
for
sound
me.
like way too much stuff going on.
Yeah. Um,
That's a hard question.
I
I feel
don't
like.
know. What would I look past? It depends on the situation. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I would be like, "Okay, I can work with that if I'm aware of it." You have to be
Listen,
honest with me. You have to be honest. If you're not honest, like, that's just a waste of time. Like, there's so many, like, men that are still so secret, not just men, everybody in general that are secretive, and it's like, "Why are you being so secretive? Is it
I
fun
can't
for
deal with
you?"
that. If you're
Yeah,
secretive, it's not gonna work. Yeah,
yeah.
it's not gonna
And
work. No.
right, exactly. But if you're just being honest and you're just like, "Okay, this is where I am. You can either take it or leave it." I
Right.
have that option. You haven't tried to like take that away from me. You're telling me this is who I am, this is what I'm into, and I get
Facts.
to make that decision. And if I get hurt, that's on me because I chose
Facts.
to stay. So, so yeah.
And I was gonna
So,
say, like, for me, like, I couldn't have nobody that don't have no job.
yes.
You
God,
can't
that
have
lives
if you
with
don't
their
have a
mom
job or a car. What'd you say?
or someone that lives with their mom.
You, hey, if he lived with his
Wait, no,
mama,
no, 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 no. But he's not taking care of his mom. He's living with her
but
because
he got a
he doesn't
job.
have. No,
Oh no, heck
and
no.
lives with mom.
Nah, I was like, if he lived with his mom, but he got a job in the car, okay. But I'm like, a dude
But
that
what
don't
if
have a.
he lives? What if
What'd you
he just
say?
had a room? He just has a room in his mom's house and he's not paying any bills,
But he work.
but he works at Taco Bell.
But is
Deal
he?
breaker? No.
Is he paying? Like, is he putting gas in your car and not and stuff like that? Buying you gifts?
Every once in a while, but complains about it.
Oh my god. But he does it though.
Yeah, if you bother him enough about it.
Oh no. You know I ain't having that. I ain't having that. No, what about you? What about you? What about
It
you?
depends. If he worked at Taco Bell, let's say he worked at Taco Bell, but he was going to school. He wanted to better his life, and he was living with his mom because he wanted to save money for school because school's expensive. And he's like, "I work at Taco Bell on the graveyard shift because I'm paying for school." I could look past that. I would
And
say,
and he
"Okay,
and but he gets financial aid too? Yes.
sure, yeah, yeah."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something I can look
Or if he
past.
was
Yeah.
taking care of his mom or something like that, I could do
Yeah.
that. But if he treated his mom badly, that would be different. Because I had an
Mm-mm.
ex-boyfriend that lived with his mom and he was mean to her. And I was like, "Yeah, no, we can't
I
do
mean,
that."
if he treats his mom like that, I think he's gonna treat any woman, other woman that he interacts with the same
Oh,
exact way.
exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
If he don't have no respect for his mom, he not gonna have no respect for anybody.
exactly. Unless
Yeah.
his mom is really awful to deal with and, like they fight back and forth or whatever. Maybe, but I
You
don't
think
know.
that's just a
No, 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 because that shows how they handle conflict. And if we get in a
oh,
fight,
I oh wow, I didn't think about that.
that's what it's gonna look like. So I'm like, "Okay, am I gonna be your mom? Are you
Right.
dating me because I remind you of your mom?"
You know what? I know a person that his mom treats him really, really horrible, 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 bad.
Oh,
Cuss him out,
yeah,
everything. He does not disrespect her, not one bit. She did some really messed up things, and I don't want to say too much, but he
yeah,
did some really messed up things. She did some really messed up things, but the man never disrespects his mom or nothing. So I'm like, it's possible to treat your mom with respect, even though she doesn't
yeah,
deserve it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I was thinking that, I'm glad you said it
I'm
because I was
like,
like,
I
"Oh."
mean, the
I
things
was
he
like,
went
"That poor
through,
guy. That's
if I went through
awful."
what he went through, I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
handle, my mom with grace like that. But he handled his mom with grace. That's
Well,
a
good
lot.
for him. That is a lot. I can't
Yeah.
even imagine because 'cause I'd be like, "I'm mad for you."
I'd be like, that's a lot. Like I'm like, mm.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're all caught up in the comments.
Yeah, we kinda were.
Becky Allen, are you still there? Did you leave?
Mm. Yeah. maybe.
Yeah, I usually should be on here the whole. What did I do? Save. I don't press something. What did I do? Oh, you guys, I don't press something. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. We were talking about some good stuff.
I know. The deal breakers.
I know you said what if he work at Taco Bell? He buys you stuff, but he complains about.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
like,
trying to think of another one.
I'm trying.
Huh.
Let me think of another one. Let's see. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Let's say it's a man, right? He provides, right? Take care of all the bills, but he's a gambler, and he randomly
Oh,
gambles and gambles off. He
oh,
randomly takes provides bills paid, everything, handle his business. But he's a gambler, and he has money times where he gambles off all the money.
all the
Ra-
money, meaning he can't pay his bills, he can't pay anything. And
random,
is he taking my money or is it his money?
it's his money, but it impacts you because if he
Okay.
doesn't pay something, yeah. And I was gonna say, but he has a gambling addiction problem, but meet with the counselor and everything, but
If
still
he's meeting
has,
with a counselor and
yeah.
he's making efforts towards it, possibly. I don't know though. Gambling scares me because I'd be like,
That's a non-negotiable.
yeah,
I can't.
that's a
That's a
non-negotiable.
non-negotiable. I can't.
Yeah,
No,
so you'd just be like,
mm-mm,
"No, I can't do that." What about,
no.
like, if what about if they were into, like, drugs or alcohol, but they were in recovery for that?
I got one for you, if you don't
Okay.
mind.
Oh, of course.
Let's
Keep them
say
coming.
yes. Okay. Let's say like it's a man, alcoholic, provider, sweet, loving, kind, everything, everything. A
Mhm.
sweet, sweet man,
Yeah.
but randomly relapses.
He randomly relapses. I would probably say, "What is your plan moving forward for this to, like, not be a problem?" And if they had a plan and they got right back on the wagon, so to speak, and they did what they were supposed to, I would stay. However, if all of a sudden I'm seeing them act like they're using, then I'd be like, "I can't be with you and you need to get yourself clean, and if you decide to get clean, we can reconvene, but for right now, I need to take care of myself."
I like that approach. I
Yeah,
like that. I like that. I like that approach.
because I
Wow.
wanna give people some, like, leeway because, like, if you're working and you have one slip up, I mean, I guess that's similar to cheating though, you know? I mean, if
It is,
someone's
but you
like,
know
"I'm a
what?
cheater and I made a mistake."
You know what? You're probably gonna think I'm tripping. That's another non-negotiable. I
What?
someone
Alcohol?
on drugs, I
Oh,
can't do it because only because I had like
mhm.
not to say too much, but people that I know that were in relationships like
Mhm.
that, but they
Yeah.
will go on binge and sell everything.
Oh gosh,
Like
I know.
the
Yeah.
person will come back
Yeah.
and everything's gone. Like
Yeah.
and to work so hard and to come and you walk in your house and you everything is like I it just or like
I understand.
someone
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
or someone like cracked off your car like I you guys I know this sounds very dysfunctional but it's just
No,
my life
that's
the
what
way it's set.
happens though. I mean, it
Yeah.
happens for so many people though. Like, I have a really good friend that he will be sober for a couple years and I never talk to him. I don't hear from him unless he has a problem. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I lost my insurance. Can you help me? I need this. I need that." And I'll give him help to an extent, but we set very firm boundaries like, "Yeah, you can come and do your laundry at my house and you can wash your clothes, but you can't be high and you can't bring drugs in my house." Those are the boundaries that I'll set.
That's great boundaries.
Right. Yeah. Well,
That's
even
great
a guy in
boundaries.
class said the same thing because he's a recovering addict. And I was asking him, "What are the boundaries you set?" Because he still is friends with people that are drug users. And I said, "What do you do? How do you do that?" He's like, "They don't bring drugs in my house." And we have a very honest conversation. I was like, "Oh, good," because that's exactly what I did with my friend. But I want him to know I'm there to support him. And I will give him things that don't include money. And I think I gave him money once for his phone, but it was like $5. I'm like, "You're not going to buy anything drug wise with $5." Like he needed data for his phone. So I just sent him $5. But that I'm okay with because he's trying to work and he's trying to better himself. And to me,
Right.
it's like, if you need that, I'll give it to you. And now he's actually a peer support specialist. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean,
Wow.
I think that you have to decide what feels good for you. And I think you know people and you know, like, if they're genuine and they're really trying, there's other people that are not. And
No,
it's
right.
scary because when people are in their drug addiction or alcoholism, they're not focused on you. They're completely not there. I mean, they have the body of the person, but they're not there. So you just have to remember, like, it's a disease. I'm not going to take it
I
personal.
call it the stranger. When the
Exactly.
stranger's in control, because that's the thing why I
Yeah.
said, and then call me six really fast, and I'm gonna circle back to what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You said I'm a first generation American, and the one thing I know is between Americans and foreigners are the most, what do you say? That most foreigners are
Foreigners.
attached at umbilical cord their
Oh,
whole
yeah.
life.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's so true. He's talking about how people in other countries are very attached to their moms.
Oh,
Like
facts.
like
Okay,
very
and
attached to their
then he
parents.
said, then he said, I
I
can't
can't
deal
deal
with
with
drugs or addicts. But listen, I had it where I had friends and people that I was like talking to where we're hanging out, and they're like high the whole time, or they can't even
Mhm.
remember. It's just a headache. It's a
Yeah,
headache. Yeah, it's
it
a
can
headache.
be, and it just depends on who you're dealing with, and, like, some people, like, I mean, if they make a mistake like my friend, he'll be sober for a couple of years, and then he uses meth, but he's not hurting, I mean, he's hurting himself, and it sucks because that's the only time I ever hear from him, but, you know, he reaches out at least, but that's how I know he's not doing well, so,
Yeah, that's sad.
yeah, it is. I mean, I wish he'd hang out with me, like, when he was feeling good, but it's like, "Okay, that's your choice and that's your life, so you're working your program, you do what you need to do." So,
Facts.
yeah.
I didn't even know Millie Blunt said, "Hey y'all, thanks for the
Thank you.
chat." Oh,
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for coming.
And I
It
was
was
gonna
funny.
say that. Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say? I don't want to
Oh,
cut
I
you
was
off.
go I totally had a, like, scenario, but I know it. Okay, so hypothetically, you're not married, okay?
Okay.
Alright? So you're dating somebody, but London doesn't like or your daughter doesn't like him.
Yeah, no, it's I share a name too, so it's
Oh, okay. I was like, "I'm
yeah,
so
no,
sorry."
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Wait,
she
can I
doesn't
hear
like
you?
him.
Oh, go ahead. I'm ready for this one. Let's go.
Yeah, I said she doesn't like him.
It's a done deal. No.
Okay, that's how I
That's
feel.
a
Okay.
that's a done deal, because you know why? You know why?
Yeah.
Because kids pick up on things. And when a
Mhm.
kid brings something to your attention or brings something up about a person,
Totally.
they're good at knowing spirits. So if
Yeah.
she's coming to me, she's telling me like, "Mommy, I'm not feeling this new boyfriend." I feel like when
Yeah.
you avoid stuff like that, that's when crazy shit happens.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think. You tell me what you think.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, and then I would probably ask, like, "Okay, why don't you like this person? Is it because I'm not with your dad anymore? Like, is that why?
Oh, I didn't think
Or
about
is
that. I didn't
there
think about that.
another
I didn't think about
reason?"
that.
Because she might be like, "Well, I'm mad because you're not with my dad anymore." But if there's more to it, like, let's say all of a sudden they start hanging out and she's like, "Oh, yeah, he's cool. He's cool." Then that would be different, but if she was like, "No, no matter what he did, didn't like
No,
didn't like him."
if she says
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I just
Or
feel
I don't feel
something weird.
comfortable with him or something.
Yes. But
That's when
I
you're
got a
like, "Okay.
scenario for you.
Okay.
So let's say you're not married, you're dating somebody, and what do you think? What would you say is like your time that you would introduce the person to your child?
Ooh, it would be a while." It
What's
would
a
be like
while? I want to know, and I'm gonna tell
like
you. What's a while? I want to know.
5 or 6 months.
Oh, that's better than me.
What would your a
I
year?
said never, but I was gonna say a year.
Yeah.
I was gonna say year, but I will date the person, but would not bring her in the mix because I feel like that's not
Yeah.
their daughter. That's not. It's me and you.
Mhm.
So let's really get locked in because so many women bring men, and I don't understand when people
Yeah.
leave their kids with this man. You don't have a clue who this man is, and you're letting them watch your
Exactly.
kids.
No. No way. Like, if I was dating somebody, I'd be like, "You don't even get to come in my house. I'm getting a
No,
babysitter. I will go hang out with you, and then I'll come back, and you'll know that I have kids. I'll show you pictures of my kids, but do I want you to be, like, in their life? No, because it's confusing. And what if it doesn't work? What if they like them and then they bond with them, and then they're like, "This guy left me."
Facts.
There's so many
And
different
I feel like
things.
you really have to get to know a person before you just be bringing them around your kids like that. Like you really have to know,
Exactly.
like really read and know this person. You know,
Totally.
I
Yes.
I hate when I hate when women. My friends used to do that all the time. Like one of my friends, like I'm trying to figure out not to say too much, but the dude was not the dude. I witnessed the dude not being friendly to the little boy, and I brought it up to her, and I'm like, have you noticed this? And you're letting him let it like have you
Yeah.
she felt like there's nothing wrong with it. Like he just I'm like
Oh.
another thing. Let's say you get with someone, right?
Uh-huh.
You're not married. No, you're not married, but you're dating this person for a while, right? And
Okay.
it's you guys think talk about getting married and stuff like that.
Okay.
How do you feel about a person disciplining your children
No. I
under
am
no
not ready for that.
circumstances?
No, not under no circumstances, but I would have to see like what that looks like. So if we even talked about like the marriage thing, it
Mhm.
would be like, what do you believe in discipline? Are you going to hit my kids? Like, do you believe in that? You know, like
Right.
that could be a deal breaker for me because I think, especially with discipline, I have a very much like, this is my approach I'm going to take. If you do something else, that's your business, but you're not doing it to my kids. So I'd have to
Facts.
really, and that's a really good thing to bring up. Like, what does that look like for you?
Yes, it's an
You know,
act.
because I
Yes.
need to know that because what if you were like, I don't believe in spanking and they want to spank my kids, you know?
Facts.
So,
And
huh.
it puts me in a difficult situation because I know people that allow their boyfriends to whoop their
Mhm.
kids. And
Oh,
I don't believe in that. I feel like you didn't birth this. I didn't have
yeah,
her with you. So
right.
it's not up to you to discipline the child. If the child does something, you tell me. That's how I feel. Yeah,
Exactly,
you tell me and I
exactly.
handle it. Like, but
Right.
you're not in that position.
Yeah. Now let's say you
Mhm.
were with this person for like, I don't know, like let's say she was like 2 and you guys got together and he was in your life for like until she's, the age she is now. And then he started like disciplining because he's been in her life like since she was a little girl. And I'm sure you would know by now, like, oh, this isn't a deal breaker. And I trust this guy with my child for us to be together. So that's okay. You know?
I I feel like yeah, and if he's the main person, like if he's raising her and was raising
Yeah.
her with me for that amount of time, I feel like that's
Right.
different. I feel like that's different versus you're
Yeah.
just getting to know and dating somebody and then you're just
Yeah.
letting them hit your kids.
Right.
I
No. Oh my gosh. I can't even
I will go
imagine.
to jail. I will go to jail. I will go to jail. Like, what?
What do you think you're
I
doing?
don't even like when other people like you're out in public and other people feel comfortable saying something to your kid.
Oh,
That's
I
not
hate that.
oh
I
my
hate that stuff.
gosh.
Pisses me off so bad. And
Oh, let me
I'm like,
oh,
you don't have any right.
let me see because let me
Yeah.
see. Okay. Becky Allen, it's yours. Call me six. I grew up with my whole life, and even when they finally quit, they still have bad tendencies. Talk about people that are addicted to drugs and
Oh,
alcohol.
yeah.
Becky
Uh-huh.
Allen said most people think that they can change a person, so they
No.
go into the relationship thinking the cheater will change. A
No.
cheater is a cheater.
A cheater? Yeah.
They cannot physically discipline them. I just
I
had a
agree.
flashback to the 1980s. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. I would not be okay with that, and I just feel like you need to know your place, and I wouldn't if I was let's say, like, all of a sudden I was dating a guy and hang on one sec, I need to charge my phone, and all of a sudden, like, I'm with his kids or whatever, I wouldn't go and hit them.
No, I got another question.
Okay.
It keeps popping in my head.
Alright.
Would you date a guy that, let's say he works, he does everything right, right? He
Okay.
works, he does everything right, and he takes care of you, great date nights, everything, but he got six kids by six different women.
It depends. What are the mothers like? Am I gonna get along with them? Are they crazy? Like,
I didn't
is
think
it gonna
about
be an
that. I
issue?
didn't think. I
Like, does
well,
he
they're
have a good
different baby
relationship
moms.
with them?
What? No, they're different baby moms, but you have to interact. Some are good and some are bad. It's like, or would you even date somebody that has a lot of kids?
I wouldn't wanna date someone who has a lot of kids unless they were all grown up.
The question is, what is discipline and what is abuse?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah, that's a good
question because
question.
some people, like, they do some really abusive things and they
Yes.
say, like, "Oh, it's just discipline," and that's a good point. So
But you hear all these things about these moms letting men discipline their kid. There was one little black boy that the mom had, like, he had a mentor, and the mentor
yeah.
went to church and stuff like that, and was a mentor and watched the little boy from a single mom, and then he beat the little boy with like a wood thing because the little boy
Mhm.
peed on himself or something, and the little boy died. So that's what I'm
That's
saying.
so
Like
sad.
that's
Yeah.
that
What is the like, when does it become, like, and that's a good question too, because when does disciplining become abuse?
exactly.
So,
And then
like, I mean,
oh, go
and
ahead, go ahead.
I don't know by criteria because, like, there's some people that, like, they'll do a spank or something like that. I don't know. But, like, is it gonna get worse?
I just
Like,
don't believe even if
I
even
don't believe in it either,
I
but,
don't need, even if I'm with somebody and they gave me permission to pop their kids, I'm not gonna pop your kid. You gonna
Can
sit
you
in the corner,
imagine?
take a time out. Like we
Yeah.
gonna do read directions. I'm not whooping nobody, no child that I didn't birth.
No.
I'm not
No.
disciplining. I don't believe in that. Let me see before I get sidetracked.
Absolutely.
So Becky says she will date somebody that has 6 kids, but will not marry them. So Becky, why?
Ooh.
Why would you not marry them? I think
Yeah.
I know
I can
why, but I want her to explain that. Call me sick said, Amen. As a man, I would not discipline another man's child. I don't believe in
Yes.
that. Yes,
I
exactly.
agree with that. I agree with that as well.
I'll be honest.
So,
I would not date somebody that does not have, they gotta have the same kid as me. The same as many kids
yeah.
as me.
Yeah.
I I can't do three,
I
four,
also need
five.
to know, is there bad blood between them? Because, like, or, like, do they wanna get back together? Are they trying to get in fights with me? I mean, I'd really have to get to know these moms, like,
I got a
I don't
question.
know if you ever watched, The Shy, but there's a
No.
guy on the show, and his name is Emmett, and he has, like, 3 baby moms, and all of them gang up on him to start getting child support because he's not paying
See,
child
and then
support,
that's the
so
thing. Like,
that's
and then you, not to cut you off, but then you're dealing with somebody with child support, and then I don't want him ever telling me he needs help with child support. I'm not
yeah.
dealing with
Yeah,
that.
I think that would be too much, and also too, like, I like kids, but I don't think I want 6 other kids. And then I have to, like, get in those relationships and, like, what if they're talking shit about me to, like, the mom, or the mom's talking shit about me to the kids, And then they come over and they're like, "Well, my mom says that you're trash, so I don't have to listen to you." That's a
And that
whole
happens a
'nother thing to
lot.
deal with.
That happens a lot. Yeah,
I
that happens a lot.
know. Yes.
I just think that's too much baggage for me.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
don't like baby mama drama.
I
Oh,
can't
that's
even
so like,
imagine.
your baby mama should not be called my phone or nothing. Like, that's you to handle. That's not my
No.
baby mom.
No,
No,
exactly, and, like, let's
no.
say, like, if it was, like, an amicable divorce and, like, you guys ended on good terms and you guys were friends or whatever, and you guys just were raising kids and you both had the same mindset and you're like, "Okay, I'm bringing this woman in." Like, okay, one of my friends, she married a guy that has a daughter. She doesn't want any kids. Her and the mom get along really well, and they text back and forth, because they
Mhm.
schedule, like, drop-offs and pickups and stuff like that. The dad won't talk to the baby mom, but she talks to the mom, and they have this really good relationship for the child. Now, if it was a situation like that I can
I
handle.
mean, and then I think that's dope that he's not engaging with her.
Yeah.
That he
Yeah.
like she could
He's like,
trust
"This
him
is
and
my
know.
new wife,
Yeah,
and this is my family now," and, but they can both be the bigger people to be like, "Okay, we need to do what's best for this 5-year-old child."
and I feel like that's great.
Yeah, because it's not their fault. It's not her fault that her parents didn't stay together.
No.
Yeah. So, and
Mm-mm.
that's the problem. I think that happens a lot too, is that just because you have issues with a dad, like, you know, it's not your child's fault. That's still their
No.
dad. They still love their dad, and it's not your job to, like, try to make them hate their dad.
Right. I was gonna say, if my dad ever had a wife, like a new wife. Oh my gosh, she would hate me. I would not. I will make her life a living hell. I will make her life a living hell. I'll just be like,
Oh,
what?
that's
But you know what? blended families I heard are hard. Blended families are hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh.
I heard blended families are really hard. And I never want that for myself.
Mhm.
Um, not saying there's nothing wrong with it,
Mhm.
but over my daughter, it's like I just don't want her to come, mommy, this and this and this and that, and then I'm over here getting on her dad because the stepmom and it's
That
Becky
sounds like
Allen.
so much work.
You know what I mean? You want to read this one?
Yeah.
You can read this one.
Okay. Marriage takes a lot of work without 6 different women in the mix. I agree with that.
Yes.
Also, the man financially support all 6 children on his own. So, that's a good question. If he could support all the children on his own, great. That'd be awesome. I
Oh
could do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could
So
do
if
that
he
because
could,
money wouldn't be involved, because once money gets involved on top of everything else, that's a whole 'nother factor.
and I was gonna say that because on vacations, you're the one that's helping out pay the vacations. Christmases, you're the one that's paying for
Yes.
this stuff. But if he takes care of all his kids, he's paying for everything. That's
Yeah.
nothing on you. That's not a burden on you. So that's one
Yeah.
less thing to deal with.
Right.
But six different baby, I just,
No.
or
No.
even
That
like
would
three different baby mamas, I just couldn't.
I think 1 I could handle. If it was just 1, I would be like, "Alright, I can do this.
I
I can
got
do
one for
this."
you.
Okay.
Let's say not married, met a guy,
I love this
wonderful.
game, by the way. I
Me
love
too.
hypothetical
I know. Met a guy, beautiful, everything you could ever ask for. You guys get along great, right?
Uh-huh,
But you guys been talking for. I'm not gonna say you guys been talking, but you find out that
uh-huh.
he has a 3-month-old baby.
So, if and I just found out? So we've
Like,
been,
well, he
like
told you,
oh, he
but
told
the
me?
baby
Okay.
is only 3 months, and then him and the mom, like you don't know what they are, but the baby's fresh.
I would have to ask, first of all, like,
Well, no, no, no. Okay, never mind,
okay,
never mind, never mind. No,
yeah,
no, 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 no. Let me tell. Okay, so they
okay,
broke up. They broke up.
okay.
Right, they're not together. But the baby's 3 months old. But they're not
Did they
together.
break up when she was pregnant, or did they break up when the baby became a thing?
I will say when she was pregnant.
Okay.
He said that's asking for
How
trouble.
far into the pregnancy? Was it like 2 months? Was it 3 months? Was it 6 months? Like,
8.
8 months? Okay,
But
so
he
that's
says that he's
fresh.
done. But he said he's done. You guys get
Uh,
along great. He has open communication and everything. But the
I would
baby's
have to
3 months
talk to
old.
her too.
He said too fresh. Call me six said that's too fresh. Call me six. Why? Why is that too
Why is
fresh?
that too fresh?
Why? But
Because
that's the
I was
thing.
like, if if they were if she thought they were getting back together and it was like a hardship or something like that, I could see being like, I feel kind of bad. This is really hard for me because that is really fresh and it's brand new. But if they were both like I don't know, let's say we hung out at a party, we had a hookup, and we decided to have the baby, and we don't have any feelings towards each other, and we
Mhm.
have a really great relationship. Sure, why not? I
Really?
like babies, but I don't have to have it. So,
See, and I would say, okay, so I see your point of view.
yeah,
So you're saying that you'll be okay with that.
it depends on like all those little factors,
Okay, okay, okay.
but if it was good and we were really good and the mom was involved and she's like, "Yeah, no, there's nothing between us." Then yeah. Or or if the mom was a drug addict. Sure. Like, let's say they
Ooh,
were
that's a
together
ooh,
and
ooh,
they went to a
ooh.
party and she was using drugs and the baby came and it went through all the like process of detoxing and the baby is fine now. Oh, I don't know though. That's a whole nother thing.
I
Oof,
mean,
never mind.
that's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like,
Yeah. That's true.
and then
Okay.
it's like, oh my gosh, what if she pops up to the house and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Like
That's a
you
good
gotta think
point.
about stuff like that, like all drugged out.
Oh, yeah, never mind, never mind.
I mean,
Let's say that they had a hookup and he never met her and she lives in Europe or something and he'd probably never see her again and she gave birth to the baby or she left. No, but then she could show up again. Never mind.
and
So,
then what if you have to take that baby, that her baby, you guys decide to take it. I just I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm
Oh,
not
I
doing
don't
it.
think I could. That sounds like a lot. Okay, so hypothetical. Okay, you're with this. You're not married again. You're not
Okay.
married. Okay, and you start dating this guy, and you okay, you've been with him for a while. Okay, and you got to know his daughter. No, no, no. Wait, scratch that. Okay, so you haven't been with him, but you really, really
Okay.
like him. Okay, and you're
Okay.
just like really into him. He's like the perfect guy. He's so kind. He's so like just this great person.
He's sexy
But
too?
yeah, he's
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
He's the
Okay.
full package. I mean, we're
Okay.
talking
Okay.
like,
Okay.
he's he has a good job, he's going to school, everything, but then you find out that recently he's a widow. So his wife just died and he has a daughter and the daughter is dealing with the death of her mom.
No.
Okay. That would be a hard one,
No. And
wouldn't
you know why?
it? Yeah.
You know why? Because I've
Yeah.
been there before and I know how it is
Yeah.
when you lose somebody and I know how
Totally.
what the child is feeling. And then
Yeah.
on top of that, I know what it feels like when you lose somebody that it was
Mhm.
unexpected. That love never goes away.
Yes.
So you got to think
Yeah,
about the
that's a good point.
comparison. You got to think about
Are they always gonna be thinking like,
are they
"She's
all
okay, but my mom was better," like, no matter what?
or the dad.
Yeah.
Is the dad always going to bring her up? Is the dad always going to
Yeah, like,
compare? Is the
especially if it was
dad's
the
going to
love of his life. Like, what if it was the love
exactly?
of his life and he lost his, like, best friend and he's like, "I'm distraught, but I really love you, but you'll never compare to, like, my first love."
It's
That would
you.
be I don't know if I could do that. I couldn't deal with the
No,
comparisons.
because it's like you're never gonna win. This person died.
No.
It's not that they just broke up with the person. The person was
Yeah,
taken from them. So
yeah.
it's like a never ending battle. I could not. Heck no.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that
No.
either because
I
I'd
was
always
gonna
be like,
no.
"Okay." Now, if it had been years ago that they died, and they had gotten through it and, he's like, "I love my wife, but, this whatever," you know, I could probably do that, but if it was just brand new and he's like, I would be with her if it wasn't for this one thing.
No
I would
heck
always
no.
be like, "Are you always gonna compare me to her because I'm never going to measure up."
Never. And you feel like you're every day trying to be better, trying to
Yeah,
compare. No,
right, exactly.
I don't think I can do widows. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it would be hard, wouldn't it?
It'll be I think so. Yeah, and most definitely with that daughter,
Yeah.
with
What
the
if he didn't
daughter,
have a daughter? What if he didn't have a daughter?
no.
Okay. What if it was like years ago that she passed and he had gone through therapy and he's like, "I want to talk to you about her because I really love you and I want you to know everything about me, but I'm not trying to compare her to you."
Um, I don't know.
It's
Let me see.
so
Oh,
hard.
let me see. Look at here. Call me six because I think okay. Because Becky Allen said something. So call me six.
Okay.
You're talking about 6 months since you know for a fact that they were sleeping together. Okay, that's what.
Mhm.
Call me six says baby 3 months old, nine months to conceive. When did they stop sleeping together? Oh, also six.
I
The
would have
six.
thought of that too. That's the first thing I thought of
He
is
said
okay,
that's
a baby's gonna
yes.
come at
He
9
said
months, so like
yes,
is
and
it
he said, call me six said that's a rough one. It is. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then Becky Allen said I wouldn't be with anybody that's going to compare
Compare.
me to anyone. That's what I'm saying. Are you
Yeah,
dealing?
that
Are
would
you
be
talking to someone? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I remember when she used to do this and she used to do this for me. No, because I'm not
oh
doing what she
my
did.
could you imagine? And you're like, "I'll never be her. I'm not gonna be her no matter what. I can't do it. I physically cannot be her."
And then let's say they got a strong bond. Like if
Yeah,
they had a really, really strong bond, you can't. There's nothing breaking that. No.
exactly.
Mm-mm.
Especially if it, like, ended in, like, let's say terminal illness, like cancer or something.
Ooh.
And then
No.
he had to, like, work with her and, like, she slowly was going through this process and he was the caregiver for her. That's a lot of, like, trauma that he'd already be going through.
Wow.
Yeah.
No. Honestly, I think I just never will be with anybody because I don't got no tolerance. I feel like when you had a lot of dysfunction and stuff going on, you just don't have the tolerance for that. I just call me six. Let me see. Call me six said no child, no problem because the person will eventually move on regardless. Okay, are you
Yeah.
talking about okay?
Yeah, with
Um,
because I said if let's say that this widow doesn't have so he's I guess he's yeah, he's still a widow. He doesn't have a daughter or a son.
oh,
He
okay,
just
okay,
it's
okay, okay.
just him. And let's say like this is like 5 years away and he's got a really good job and like he's into boxing.
And you say he fine too?
Yes.
We could probably work through it. I
And he
mean,
has his own boxing gym. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I got this guy that's a boxer and you can like go to the gym anytime you want. But he lost his wife
how many years
6
ago?
years ago. 6 years ago.
I mean, I think that and you say he's sexy too. I,
Yes.
I mean, 6 years, but that's kind of tricky too because I feel like, and I don't know, you can tell me. I
Mhm.
noticed that people say grief in the beginning. I feel like it's reversed. Like I feel like the longer it goes, the harder it
Mhm.
is for me to deal with grief. So it's like what
Okay,
that
what if
six
he's going to
months.
counseling though? What if he's going to counseling for it? And like he wants you to be involved in his counseling and he wants for you guys to grow together and he's like I don't want you to feel like there's any problems with us and I don't want to feel like you compare. I'd really like it if you would be a part of this.
I if you say you got a boxing gym, he's sexy. I think yeah.
He's a
I could
boxer.
probably work with that. I'll probably work with that. I'm not gonna lie. So my question
Yeah.
to you:
Mhm.
let's say this man has his own practice. So
Ooh.
he has his own practice
Is
and
he hot?
everything.
Is he
Huh?
hot? Is
Yeah,
he
he's
hot?
hot. He's hot. But
Okay.
his wife passed away. He was married to her for 20 years. And she just passed
Oh my
away 3 years
god.
ago.
So it's actually funny because my sister has a well, it's not funny. It's actually really sad. So my sister has a friend, okay, and they were married and she hid the fact that she was sick from her husband and everybody because she wanted to just live her life. So she died very unexpectedly. And like
What?
there's an app in your phone where you can add somebody to like get all your phone like pictures and text messages
Mhm.
and all that. And so I actually added like family members into my phone because if something were to happen to me, it's like you have access to my pictures because he didn't know the password to his wife's phone. And so all the pictures nobody could access. And then her friends were saying, well, if they guessed the password and they said, well, if you can't find it, then we're not going to give it to you. So recently, he, so she, when he finally found out she was sick, he was the caregiver for her, and he's actually going through the same thing where he's like, "I'm thinking about dating someone right now because I've been a caregiver and I've been dealing with my sick wife, and I'd really like to just go on a date with somebody."
But the wife is still
No, she's not alive.
okay.
She passed. Yeah,
Okay, she passed. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I know. So, I mean, that stuff does come up. So, I mean, I guess it just depends on the situation, and I'd have to see. And like, is he dealing with his grief? Is he in a place where he wants something else? Does he have kids? Because I'm like, oh, I feel like that's a lot to process with kids, you know, and
Yes.
especially if they're like, who are you? You're never going to be compared to my mom. And that's fair because if I was to pass, my girls would be the same. They'd be like, you're never going to compare to my mom. So, because it's your mom, it's totally different.
Right.
So, that it would depend. It would depend on that, and it would depend on the situation and, like, how does he feel about it? Is he, like, talking about it all the time? Is he obsessed on it? Is he, like,
That's the thing. Is he
so many
obsessed
different
on it?
factors.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because, like, if
that's the
if
thing.
somebody is, like, that's all they wanna talk about is that, and they want you like, let's say I mean, I would imagine even with this boxer guy that you'd be like, "Okay, but he's obsessing on his ex all the time and comparing me to her and stuff." I don't think it would be worth it even for the
I don't
boxing
think
stuff.
no. No. And that
So
will make anybody question who they are cuz it's like
yeah,
this person deceased and I'm with you, but there's nothing I can do to compare to this person. Like I just that's just damaging. I won't want that for nobody.
yeah,
Yeah, that's damaging.
exactly,
I got
exactly.
one.
Okay.
And let me know when you don't play
Oh
this
no,
game.
I
Okay.
can play. I'd be here all night.
Someone said that's not healthy. No, it's not. No, it's not. No. And I feel like just being compared to somebody, man. Mm-mm.
Because you're not that person. You're never going to be that person, no matter how hard you try. You're just never going to.
Hold on. Let me
If
see.
you,
She
what's
said,
the difference between someone dying and breaking up with someone? Um, I mean, if you broke up with someone, they're still around. They made that option for themselves. But like when you lose someone suddenly, there's a different feeling, especially if you deal with the grief of like I was a caregiver for this person. Like my wife had cancer and I was, cleaning up bedpans and giving her sponge baths. There's a huge difference between that and like, yeah, we
well,
broke
I
up.
got a question for you because it's like, if you break up, a breakup, you're grieving. Someone
Yeah,
dying, you're grieving.
that's true.
So it's like, but
Yeah.
that's like,
Mhm.
what do you think? Because it's
Yeah.
like, it's still
It's still
different.
grief.
It's
It's
still
just it's a different kind of grief, I think, too. So,
okay. You said
yeah.
okay. So let me see.
Jesse's back. Back
Oh, what's up,
again.
Aiden?
Jesse's back.
Okay, so
Have you lost a spouse? No, I mean, I haven't. So, I mean, broken up
I
with people, but
I haven't lost a spouse either. Lost no. So that's
mhm.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say like, let me read the question again. What's the difference? You see,
I'm
so
confused. What's the difference
I
between
can't Becky. I can't speak on that. I've never lost a spouse, so I don't know what it's
Yeah.
like.
I don't either.
No,
I'm going off of how I feel, but do I know facts about that? No.
no. And she's saying, what's the difference? I don't even know because I just feel like you're both. It's
It's
both
still a loss.
grief.
I mean, and that's a good point. It is a
Yeah,
loss. The difference between that is that the person is alive and you can be mad at them, but you can be like, "You're alive and mad," versus
exactly.
yeah,
Versus, yeah, the person being deceased.
yeah.
So,
And then it
um,
makes you feel bad because when people die, you're like, they can't even defend themselves. Yeah, like if somebody's alive, you can be like, "I'm mad at them and I'm gonna talk shit about them," but
yeah,
they're
and you know
alive
what?
to talk back.
I seen like grandma and grandpa that used to live across the street from me, and
Uh-huh.
grandma died, but grandpa died 6 months later. But that's
That
all he
happens
talked about.
so often.
That's
Yeah.
all he talked about.
I know. It's
He
so
was
crazy how that
so
happens with older people too.
oh,
Like,
it's
and usually
sad
with
as heck.
so who died first?
So grandma died first,
Okay. Because
and
it
then
seems like whenever the female dies first, the man follows like right behind
yes,
her.
yes, and
Because
then he
when
died.
my
But
grandpa died, right,
it was the
my
same
grandma
thing.
lived for she lived for a couple years,
Oh wow.
but they both died of like lung cancer. So it was like, oh wow, okay, they both died from the same thing. So but I think she
Wow.
missed him a lot. Like she always talked about like I get to see your grandpa again, so she was happy about that.
And
So
that's
I
what I,
think there
that
was
he and
closure.
that's so crazy because he was saying the same
Yeah.
thing, but it's like he can be helping me print out something, and he's like, "Well, Carol used to." I'm like, "This is sad as hell."
Oh,
It was sad. It
oh,
was so sad,
that's so
and I
sad,
imagine him
especially
because
sad with older people
he
too.
used to walk all the time. It's just my heart. I'm like, I don't want to experience losing a spouse. I
I
don't.
feel like crying for some
I'm about
reason.
to tear up. I don't want to.
I don't even
It's
know
just
these people, and I'm just
I
like,
know that's what I'm saying. That's why
oh.
I'm like about to tear up because I'm like, it was just the saddest thing. So I don't ever want to lose a spouse.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, I ain't reading that comment. So
oh,
okay, so another scenario, and then we can jump on to something else.
yeah.
I got one more scenario. Let's say you're with somebody, he's great, he's a provider, but he randomly gets drunk and goes outside and acts crazy. So he's like, I'm the king of the world. I'm the king of the world. And he randomly does it. But he's great. But he has nights where he just gets drunk and acts crazy like that.
Oh. I mean, I'd probably be annoyed with him and just be like, "Okay, can you tell me like when you're gonna act crazy and I'll go away and I don't have to deal with it." So as long
You
as the
know what?
neighbors aren't getting called, and are the police getting called? Like, is he going to jail?
He's
Or
not
does
going to jail,
everybody
but
kind of know him well enough to know that this is just something he does?
so he's the police is not called, but
Uh-huh.
you guys have to talk to the town, and the neighbors are sick of it, and they come and they try to help you bring them in, and everybody in the neighborhood is sick of it, but they like you guys a lot that they don't call the cops,
I
but
can
you're
deal with that.
humiliated.
I'd be
every time he does it.
humiliated, but I would say, "Okay, you're hanging out with your friends tonight, and I know you're gonna get crazy, so I'm leaving, so you get to deal with it on your own." And I'd just be like, "I don't know anything about it. I was gone."
Oh, well, you know what? Honestly, I I think I will be understanding. I think I'll have periods. So I'll have periods. So I'm like, okay, let's go back in the house. Like, you
Yeah,
know, and then I think I'll go from that stage to get your ass in the house. I
I
think I'll
bet
go
you
through that
would.
stage. Then I'll go to the stage where call the police on them. I deal
Let
with
him
this
learn his
3 times
lesson.
a week. Call the police. So I think that's a hard scenario. But you know what I was
Yeah,
also gonna drunks. I
they're
drunk. Oh
annoying.
my god,
They're only
drunks
fun
are
if you're drunk.
annoying. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
I've only met one person that I find entertaining when they're drunk when I'm sober.
One.
One, I know one person, and he's really funny because he'll take a drink of alcohol and be like, "Okay, I'm drunk." It makes me laugh every time.
See, I'm not gonna really throw names out there, but I was in a situation where someone I knows well would get drunk, and then he had a
Mhm.
friend that would come drunker than him, and I'm like, I'm done. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have
And they're
time for
both
that.
like having the time of their lives, but it's a freaking mess.
It's
And I'm
not
like,
fun for anybody
no,
else, and
you got
everybody else is getting annoyed with it, you know? And
yes, yeah.
especially when you have drunks that, like, get in fights. If he
You
got in fights.
fucking
If he got in fights, like, we're talking, like, really bad fights, and I had to take him to, like, the emergency room, no, wouldn't
no,
be
that's
worth it.
crazy.
I'd be like,
I had a
"No, we
friend like
can't do
that.
that."
I had a friend
Yes!
like that, and he got really upset because he got drunk at a party, and we got into a situation where we all like had to almost fight. And I was like, look, so I stopped going places with him, and I stopped
Yeah,
inviting him places, and he didn't understand. He was like, my feelings are hurt. I'm like, bro, every time we go somewhere,
you're always
you're
getting
good
in
when you don't
fights.
drink. He's the sweetest, calmest, don't even say
Yeah,
nothing. Once he drinks, I'm like, man, you know how you
I
act. Don't
don't
act
like
like
you.
that.
Yeah,
No.
right.
It's embarrassing. I'm like, you know, like
Oh,
he's like, and he was in denial at first. Then he was like, you know what? Yeah, I be tripping. Yes, you do.
that's
I'm like, bro,
insane.
you're not
Yeah.
going with us, man. You start fighting and
It's no one has time for
no.
it's so embarrassing too. It's really embarrassing. Like, people are already drunks are already embarrassing. I've done plenty of things where I'm just like, "Okay, I'm really glad there's no proof that I did this," you know? But, like, I don't get in fights. I've done stupid shit, but, you
I think we
know?
all have. I think we all have. I think we all
Totally.
have.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
But,
I think
like,
we all have.
yeah, but I'm not getting in fights and I'm not getting arrested and all doing all that stuff. So, I
Yeah,
mean, I
same.
used to be friends with a guy that like he was from East Los Angeles. So as soon as he got drunk, he like turned into like East Los. I mean, he was like
You know that, and
like
what's crazy is that
whole demeanor changed.
they become invisible. That's the scary thing. Like
Yes.
they don't
Yeah.
fear nothing. There's nothing you can do.
They think they're the coolest people. They're so funny. Everybody loves them. And I've been there before. I'm like, I am the best. Everybody loves me. And then everyone's like, yeah, no, we don't actually.
Hex no. And then let me not leave him hanging. Call me six. He said one you broke up with in the other scenario. God broke you up in a saying. Oh, good night. I don't know. You left. What you mean by that? I think he
What?
left.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Okay. Give me just one sec. I'm gonna say goodnight to the girls.
Okay, that's
Be right
fine.
back.
Okay. Who's here with us? I think we only have one person on here. I'm trying to see before I was able to tag like what is this? At least 1 minute of the video start to highlight. What? At least 1 minute of the video. Dang. I was trying to highlight this video, but it looks like you have to do it at the beginning of the video. I didn't know that. At least what? At least 1 minute of the video needed to start. Okay, so how do you highlight? Aiden, I'm sorry about your dogs. You said I have 4 dogs. 2 died. Bigfoot
Aw.
and Jax. I like that name, Bigfoot.
Mm. It's so sad when pets die. I have 2
I
cats
know.
that are older, and I'm just always like, "Don't die on me.
How old are
Please don't."
they?
They're like 13 or something. Like, we got them when they were like 8.
Um,
So, yeah, they're definitely old, and all they do is sleep all day. So,
are they
but
good? Are they? They're nice cats, right? You told me they're
they
nice
are nice
cats.
cats. Oh, yeah, they're so social too. Like, they'll come up, like, if anyone comes to our house, they're like, sniffing you, but they're not like in your face. They just kind of sniff and
I'll
like,
die.
yeah.
I'll. You know what? My new boss has one of those skinless rat-looking cats. What are those
Oh,
called? She
I
told
can't
me.
stand Sphinx. Are those
Ye-
Sphinx?
Stink? Is it
Yeah,
stinks?
Sphinx. Sphinx. Sphinx,
Sphinx.
I think.
Oh, I don't know how to pronounce
Ooh,
that. She has one, and
yeah,
she pulled them up. I
yeah.
was like,
Like a picture? Or she brought her
No,
cat with
like,
her?
yeah, she
Like
showed
on a
me.
video or something?
Yeah, we're on Google Meets, and she showed me the cat, and I
Oh.
was like, I told her I was like, I never seen one in person, like live,
Mm.
like that,
You
only
think
on
they're so
videos.
ugly?
I
Why do
can.
people I don't want a hairless. No, 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 no. No. I like fluffy cats.
That I was like, she said that he is really nice though. He's really nice, but I was like, man, like, I,
Ugh. Yeah, you're not really a cat person though, are you?
no.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember I told you I never had a problem with cats until I came across mean ones and I could see how
Oh,
mean they
yeah.
get. So
Oh, they can get mean.
I'm just leery because some
That's
cats
fair.
will act cool and with
Yeah.
me, like what I experienced, and then they turn on me. So I'm kind of scared.
Yeah,
That's the
my
only
cats are
thing.
really nice. They don't ever do anything to anybody. They're nice cats. So, but I've been around not very nice cats. So, like one of my dad's friends, she has like she loves cats. Like she's a cat lady, but she also has emus
What's
and
emus?
they're the they're like ostriches.
Emus. Damn, I wish I had my
Yeah.
laptop.
Yeah,
Emus.
she
I'll look it
has
up.
3 of them. And so like when I house sat for her, she had 14 cats and 3 emus, and all the cats
I.
were those hairless cats,
Oh
and
my gosh!
I
Stop it.
couldn't stand, but she paid me really well, and I think she paid me like 200 a day to just come in
What?
one time and, like, feed the cats, and I'm like, "Sure,
And
whatever,
you
I'll
weren't
do this."
scared?
I didn't like them, but I wasn't afraid. I'm not
That's
afraid of.
great.
Yeah, the emus kinda creeped me out a little bit.
I wish I can look at like a picture
Yeah,
of an
yeah.
emu. I'm not
I think it
emu.
was emus, yeah.
It's a
It was
type of cat.
no, it's like an ostrich. She has, like, a
Oh,
whole, like
oh, she had a
yeah,
like a no.
yes, and then she had this crazy dog, and the dog was really sweet, and the dog had dreadlocks.
I seen that before. That's dope. That's
Yes.
dope.
Yeah, that dog was
Wow.
awesome. So he had this, like, big mane of dreadlocks, and he had,
That's
like, the dreadlocks over his eyes, and I was like, "Oh, I love this dog.
so
Can I
people
take
really
him
be
home?"
doing that.
Yeah, she likes all the, like, rare animals, and I swear she probably has autism because, like, she gets really fixated on the animals, and I'm like, "I think you're on the spectrum."
And then
So
so are you is she live in Arizona?
yeah, she lives in Phoenix.
So are you allowed to like do you have to have a license to have an emu?
I don't know, I never asked her that. That's a good
Wow.
question. I should ask her. I think we're still Facebook friends, and it's funny because she has dreadlocks, and so her and her dog both
You know what? I have a friend that her friend used to have a Savannah cat, and she was saying that the cat was
Oh.
becoming too territorial and
Ooh.
wouldn't let people come in the
Huh.
kitchen and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god,
I can't do that. No.
no. That's how I was like, and that cat was big. It was a big cat.
Yeah, there's some mean cats out there too. If it's a cat that, like, hisses and growls, no.
Did I tell you about the cat that kept waiting for me to come home and that was sitting by the door?
Mm-mm.
And I had to move. We moved apartments. I couldn't do it anymore. Every time I clock work, I come home, right? It's a black cat. His ass is
Oh,
sitting at the door. No lie.
waiting
'Cause
for you.
the his mom lived across and she moved
Uh-huh.
in. So like I'm walking up and he's like, ah, and I'm like, oh hell no. Every night, every night, every night. And I was like, hey. I can't. Y'all got to do something. The cat is waiting. Like so, like stuff like that freaks me out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the cat
Yeah.
was waiting and stuff.
Yeah, that was
Heck no.
oh my gosh. When I lived in Oregon, we lived right by like a lake and there were these geese. Geese are mean. They
They are.
hiss and they spit. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm afraid.
It remind me of them llamas you be seeing. You know what's so funny? Don't laugh at me, but I was like watching videos of kangaroos fighting. I thought it was,
That's fun though. It's so
or I see one video where like this was crazy, but they had boxing gloves on the kangaroo and they're like bringing humans in there, and the kangaroo was like, and
yes. Yes.
I love watching kangaroos fight. I thought it was so crazy. I was like, why am I watching kangaroos fight?
Because it's fun. Because there's so much entertaining stuff on the internet. Like
It's fun as heck.
I don't know what I did without it because there's things I watched and I'm like, why am I watching this?
I told you about this. No, oh my gosh, you would have liked this dude. I should have sent
Uh-huh.
forward you his live. He was really smart, and he was saying that there's nobody that's smarter than him. But he was saying all this stuff like astrology, and then he's saying one a word, then he's spelling it backwards. It was crazy. It was. He was like, and you guys think your IQ's better than me? You guys think your IQ's better than me? Look at this. Then he starts doing it. I was amazed.
Wow. Well, at least he was
Yeah,
entertaining because
he
there's this
was.
one guy
Yeah.
that like I don't know, I think it's YouTube videos and he's like prove me wrong. And then he goes and he's just rude to people and people get really
What?
irritated. And like he doesn't want to be proved wrong. He just wants to like believe what he believes. So somebody made a meme that said prove me wrong and then it said like no one cares because nobody cares.
Are you serious? Wow.
That
You
guy's
but you know,
terrible.
people use like hate and controversy topics to try to get people's attention. I noticed
Yes,
that. Yeah, I noticed that a lot.
exactly. Especially when they're really not like interested and they're just trying to like make it all about themselves, or trying to make people feel stupid so they feel smart.
Exactly. You know what? I gotta stop commenting on people's lives though. There's one live that I commented on, and the girl was like picking her nose, and I'm like, "Do you know that you're on camera?" She was like, "Yeah, but I don't feel like moving the camera, my shell." So I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then there was another girl. There's another girl that was washing her dog in the sink, giving her dog a bath in the sink, and I was like,
What are you
I
doing?
told her, I said, I'd never in my life, like I've
Like that
never.
was her live is giving her dog a bath in the sink.
Yes. And she was like, "My show, do you pay any of my bills?" I'm like, "I'm done as hell. I'm not y'all calling out my government name and stuff. I'm not commenting on nobody's life. I'm not coming." I was like, "Oh my gosh, it was so embarrassing." I was like, "All right, I'm not commenting." Yeah, I'm like, "What the heck?"
Yeah, because I mean, there's some people, and I like to watch the TikTok lives, and those are fun because, but the people they bring on, it's always like to debate with, and some of the
Mhm.
people get really wild on there, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? But like one of the guys, I like him. His name is Santana, and he does a lot of like the political videos. So I started following him on YouTube. I was actually watching his YouTube live. But the only problem with YouTube live is I felt like it kept cutting in and out, whereas with TikTok, it was pretty fluid.
Fluid. Okay.
So I was kind of losing track. But he streams his TikTok from his YouTube. So like when they talk, it's like actually, like they can actually have commentary. It's not video, like, texting.
Right. You know what? I hear a lot of good things about. Ow, my little jaw's hurting. I'm talking a lot. I hear a lot of good things about TikTok Live.
You
I
should
mean
do it.
TikTok Live. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking
You
talking
should
about it.
do it. You'd probably be like, "Oh gosh, this is a lot." People are mean. People are mean on TikTok
They're
sometimes.
worse than on here.
Oh, yeah.
No, because they be acting crazy on here.
Because there's one lady and her friend, and her name's Erica, and I think she lives here actually. And her friend, they're like, so she does the live, and her friend is the moderator, and they're mean. Like they'll get on and like they're like already like yelling racist comments at them, but they handle it so well. They're just like, yeah, have fun with that, bye. And like I think they're so used to it at this point because people are mean on TikTok, but they have the
Wow.
option to like kick them off. they can do that.
Oh,
So
they can.
yeah.
And a lot of people have been having moderators. I'm like, how do you make somebody a moderator? Do you know how? I
Mm.
gotta find that out because people make people.
Yeah.
Someone, this guy that I was on his live, and
Mm.
I was a fan of his, but he went crazy. But he made me. Oh my gosh, he was making threats and all types of cues crazy. But
Wow.
um, he made me a moderator, and I was able to like when people said mean comments and stuff, I was able to like remove it and stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah, so
You don't
I'm like,
remember,
what was that?
but you don't remember like how he
I
did
don't
it?
know how he did it. I never
Yeah.
asked. Yeah, I never asked, but
Do you know him like in person, or did he just make you a moderator from you being on his videos?
he made me a moderator because I was following him for a long time. Yeah,
That
but
happens.
man, he tells all his business on there. So people start judging him and like talking bad about him, like
Yeah, I
talking
could see people
bad.
doing that. It's funny
Yeah.
with TikTok because all the like people that have channels, so like it's interesting because there's a whole little group of people that like I follow on there. So there's Erica, there's Santana, there's Parker, there's like all this big group and they all know each other. So if one of them needs help because people are being nasty, they'll switch lives and go to the other person's live.
You can do that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can do
Okay,
that.
so now I see why everybody likes TikTok. You
Yeah.
could do a lot. Oh wow. You can do a lot. Wow.
Yeah, you just have to pick a topic, and especially if you're talking about Donald Trump, there's a lot of like that's mostly what the lives are about.
Is Donald Trump?
Yeah, yeah.
That's wild.
So, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I can handle all that.
You
That's
gonna do it? You gonna do it?
maybe. It
Have you
depends.
thought
I wouldn't
about
want to
it?
do it by myself because I'd be
You say
like,
you don't want to. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm like, I sometimes some of these comments. Well,
tonight they were great.
yeah, they
They were
were
just
great. I was
weighing
like,
in.
yeah, I was looking at one of my lives though, and it was I was talking about one of the kids, and
Mhm.
somebody took it out of context, and what were they saying? I was talking about how like they don't talk about the foster kids' behaviors and how one of our babies get mad and he just slaps, like he just looks at me,
Mhm.
pow, and I was just saying people don't talk about that. So it's kind of funny, but it's not funny when you're like getting slapped and you don't know what's going on. So one
Totally.
person, I
Yeah.
was like, bro, like he slapped me so hard. I was like, okay, no, I'm let me sit you down because you're not about to just be slapping me like that.
Right.
So, but somebody took it out of context and was like, I can't even think of the comment, but they're like, just saying something that was just weird. I just thought it was weird, but it kind of like not rub me the wrong way, but I'm like, you're taking
Yeah.
everything I said, you're flipping it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely, and people take things really the wrong way. Like I follow someone on Instagram and she was talking about how she had anxiety, but she's a mom and somebody called DCS on her.
oh,
Yeah.
because they probably think that she was like unstable. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
and it's like, okay, but
That's
you can have
crazy.
anxiety and a lot of people have anxiety, but they're still good parents. So, but it's like you have to be careful what you say to everybody.
And that's the thing. Like, there was this one guy I followed him, and he was a foster dad, a single foster dad,
Mhm.
and he but people were kept calling CPS on him. And then when he showed the kid's face, he only like blurred out their eyes. But I don't
Mhm.
know why he did that. But he was reported all the time instead of their whole
Yeah.
face. He just
'Cause you
blurred.
have to be careful of that, right? Like I've seen your
Yeah,
videos where you always have the, like, emoji face over their
always.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, always.
Right, which makes sense because if the parent was to see that, they'd probably be like, "I don't want my child's face on a live."
And I think that's what it
Yeah.
is because he said
Mhm.
that they were calling like they somehow got his license worker. I don't know, something. His license worker or somebody called, and I was like, yeah. Mm.
Wow. Yeah, I can't even imagine. I feel like you have to be careful of that. Like this was years ago, but it was a group home that I had friends that worked at and it was for like, like kids. Like so there was a kid that was maybe about 13 years old and he was having like a meltdown and he was like throwing a fit and like destroying his room and the manager like took a video of it and was showing it all to us. I'm like, "Yeah, no.
Why they do that?
Because he was making fun of the kid. Like, "Ah, ha, ha, look at this kid."
That's
And
not funny.
it's not funny. It's not funny at
Wow.
all. It's a horrible thing to do. Like, I mean, I have videos of the girls, like, throwing fits because I was, like, making a video, and
Right.
then they started throwing a fit, but I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go show it on it's not like I go on to, like, Instagram or something and be like, "Let me post this story because it sucks. They're sad, so why would I do that to them?"
I don't, to be honest, I don't like group homes. I went to one
Yeah.
group home and it was horrible. I think I
Mhm.
told you I don't even know how they're I don't know how they're. Oh, Amy, hi. She said,
Oh,
hello, ding. Am I late? A little bit. We've been on here for 124 minutes. How I don't know how long that is.
you missed the conversation, all the hypothetical
We
questions,
had some wild topics going on.
right? So just getting all
Yes.
these topics of, okay, so this person is a widow.
Yeah, we're like, okay, so what if you're with this person and what if they had this? So we're talking
Oh,
about
come on,
that.
we can think of one more.
Oh, one more? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me think. Okay.
Oh,
Okay. You got one?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay. You're dating this guy. He's a
Uh-huh.
great guy. You love him and everything. But on and you go to his house, but when he asks you to come over, his kids have to come. He gets his kids every other weekend.
Okay.
You absolutely don't like his kids. And they lie on you.
And they lie.
But
Oh.
you love the dad and you think the dad's a great dad, but the kids are horrible.
How old are the kids?
Let's say they are 15 and 16.
Okay, and how long have I been with the dad? Is it brand new?
Let's see. Like 6 months.
Oh gosh,
Sweet.
okay.
Like 6 months.
Okay, well, 6 months, they probably don't like me very much because of their age. So there's that.
But they're difficult. Like every time y'all go out to dinner or outings, they make it hard. Like, and you gotta bite your tongue, but you like the dad so much, but you can't stand
Uh,
the kids. And they're disrespectful, like, oh my gosh, like nobody's talking to you. Like that.
I would probably say, "I'll hang out with you on the weekends they're not around.
They're not around? Okay.
Go
So
have
but
fun
you
with your kids."
so would you stay with them?
I would give it a try to see because
Okay.
maybe it'll get better. I mean, 6 months isn't a really long time. And let's say, like, maybe we could get somewhere.
Gotcha.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, if it really was like that or like, I don't know, let's say they were like really like awful kids or something like, I don't know. Like what if the kid like was in prison for killing somebody and he just got out? Then maybe I would be like, "No, I can't do
What?
this." I don't
Like I'm
know.
yeah, because I'm like, they're just verbally abusive, disrespectful kids.
There are. There are. I bet you
Yeah, if
could
they
not
are.
do it, could you?
Me?
Yeah. Because 6 months isn't a long time. Okay, if it was, like, 2 years and they still were that way, I could understand.
I will say I feel like the way that I am, I feel like I can kind of match energy. So I think they won't be able to play with me like that. But I don't
That's true.
know. Yeah, you know what I mean? And I
That's a
feel
good
like
point, yeah. Yeah.
the way we're both are, I don't think they will even try us like that. Cause I think they'll know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, Amy
Um
said, "Because they learned it from somewhere." What is the rest of the kids' attitude?
oh,
So what
wait.
if
Oh
there
yeah,
was,
she
like,
said
one
root.
what if there was one that was really bad, but the rest were really good?
You tell me.
I could do it. I think I could do
I'm
it
like,
because
that's
like once they got used to me, maybe the other one would warm up. Like it'd
right.
probably be the older one and then I'd want to know like what the relationship was like with the parent, and is the mom talking about me to the kids and that's why the kids have an attitude with me? So
I
maybe
well, I will say like I will say the kids are just very bitter about the divorce and like their parents not being together. And so they're like the whole situation was just rocky and they just don't
Mm,
care for you.
okay. I mean,
And
again, I feel like a short period of time and like, I don't know, like let's say the guys like they're in counseling, they're trying to work on their issues, they have some stuff going on. Like I feel like I could find some like, okay, they're going through a lot.
gotcha. Okay, so you'll be able to work through it.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, it would have to be really bad for me to be like, no, I'm just gonna because what if their mom, like, what if the mom wasn't in the picture and, like, she abandoned them and they're trying to test me to see if I'll leave? Like,
Oh, okay, okay,
and
okay,
I
okay.
really
I
wanted to
understand
stay.
that.
Like, let's say I really wanted to stay and, like, I was like, this is this is my person. I'm going to be with this person forever. I need to tell these kids or show these kids that I'm not leaving like everyone else. I could work with that.
You can work with that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Amy
It's
had
just
said,
hard.
Amy had said, what is the root of the kids' attitude? So they're like, I had said they're very verbally abusive.
Okay, so they're just verbally abusive, but they're not physically.
No, but they're very purely. I said, am I saying that right? Well, a disrespectful,
They're
like
okay.
flat out. Yeah,
Okay.
disrespectful.
And how does the dad handle it? That would be my next question. How is he
The
handling the kids?
he handles it, but he's like a little passive. But
Okay.
he checks him like, no, don't do that, don't say that, that's not right. Very passive.
Mhm. Oh, that would be hard because I'd be like, yeah, we gotta set some better boundaries
It's a
with these
better about,
kids.
but he checks
Yeah.
them though, but he's just passive and just really
Okay.
very understanding to their situation.
Does he allow the kids to talk badly to me?
No, he tells them, don't do
Okay.
that, don't, no, stop,
Okay.
like that, but very
Okay.
passive.
Hmm. Yeah, because the no, 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 stop doesn't usually work
Yeah,
too
like,
good.
hey, cut it out, don't do that.
Oh, I've done it
No,
before, and then I'm like, oh no, 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 no. Okay,
yeah, like,
we're
no,
done.
no, no, we're not gonna do that, but just
Right.
passive.
Okay. Okay. And does he love his kids a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
She
Okay.
said, before you say that, she said, kids want
Awesome.
attention. They will get, Amy said, kids want attention. They will
Mhm.
get attention for being bad, and they will get attention if they are good.
Yeah,
Consequences.
that's a good point too. And are there
Facts.
consequences? Like, what are, that's a good question. What are the consequences? Like, so if they're doing this, how is he managing? Is he just saying, no, 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 stop? Or is he actually saying, like, no, you lost something?
Facts.
You lost your PS4 or whatever, like you
Right.
can't play it over the weekend and you have to hang out. And is he also like defending me, or is he just saying like, "Oh, I'm just going to give in to my kids cuz I feel bad."
Right.
So, lots of different like variables because like if I don't know, I feel like if he was like setting boundaries and they were getting better, I'd be like, "Okay, good. We can work with this." But if
Facts.
he was just like, "No, I'm just going to let him get away with murder." I'd be like, no.
No, it's not gonna work.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be right back, okay? Let me go
Okay.
check. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay. Exactly. Kids want attention. They will get it being bad. Yes, that's very true too. Like I feel like that's a really good point because kids will try to get the attention. But you wouldn't let some Joe Schmo treat you bad. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, no, I don't think I could. So I would have to definitely like work with that and see how I felt in that situation. All right. They're the biggest boundary. Yes. Kids definitely push your boundaries all the time. All the time. You're on mute.
My bad, I'm tripping. I said I'm tripping. I said I'm trying to think of any scenarios or my own scenarioed out. I'm trying to
Hmm.
think. Before I didn't even realize it's almost
Oh.
10, and I had you in here for this long
Oh.
time.
Oh my gosh. Wow, the time went by quick. Okay. So you're dating a guy, you really like him a lot. Like he's amazing, perfect, attractive. He's a boxer too. But he says, "I want an open relationship." Meaning that you could date someone else if you wanted to, but that means he could date someone else. But you guys are honest about it. And he's like, if I decide to date somebody else, I will tell you about them and I'll keep you included. How would you feel about that?
So honestly, I don't even know if I
So
want to say this on
judgmental.
live.
Oh, good.
I was. She said nah. So
Yeah.
Amy said
Yeah.
nah. To be honest, like I'm. Let's say if I'm single, whatever.
Mhm.
When it comes to things like that, like remember I said that it's communication.
Mhm.
So it all
Totally.
depends, but I'm not serious and I don't really trip over people like that. So I don't really think it'll matter. Like, probably don't even take them
So
serious anyway. But like I said, I'm horrible. I'm
yeah.
horrible.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. You're just saying that you appreciate honesty and you could work with a lot if there's honesty, and that's the big thing. I mean, and that's why people get pissed because there's no honesty. But if somebody tells you again, you get to make that decision for
And that's what I was
yourself.
gonna
And if
say.
being honest with you, and he's like, okay, like this is the person I'm dating, and she's not going to call you. She's not going to act crazy. She's not going to do that. We just see each other 3 times a month on a Friday night. I'd be like, okay, if I mean,
And you know what? Amy said he doesn't want a relationship. This is another
yeah,
thing. And you guys, I don't know, everybody, Amy, I don't know how you feel about this. And Emily, you can tell
okay.
me. She said he's still looking for something better. I feel like, and people are going to probably chew me up. I feel like if you are not married, you are not in a relationship with nobody. I feel like that.
Hmm,
I feel
okay.
like if there's no title, it doesn't matter if you, even if you're in a long-term relationship, there's no title. So at any time, if that person wants to go date anybody, there's no title. So
So you
that's
wouldn't
why
get mad about that.
no.
Okay.
I,
So
I well,
you wouldn't get jealous. You would not be like,
no, because at the end of the day, there's no title. You know what I mean? Like there's not a title. Like if
okay,
he's
but if you were married and he said,
oh no,
I,
I'm not doing
okay,
that in
then
no
you would just
marriage.
say, no, 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 just me, just me.
N-
I'm the only
n-
one. But if you were
In
just dating,
dating, I don't care because at the end of the day,
yeah.
we're just dating. You know what I mean? Like it's not nothing
Mm,
serious. Marriage,
oh,
that's a whole nother no. That's a whole nother thing. I won't do that.
okay. Yeah, just
Yeah.
curious. Because I mean, some people do. Like, they're just like, I have an open marriage and I'm happy with that, but you have to make sure both people are happy with that. And as long as
That
you're honest.
I got another scenario before I forget.
Okay. I love
And
this.
then we can call it a night. And then we can call it a
I
night.
was
But I
gonna
got to
say,
you this
you
one.
could tell me scenarios all night, and I'd be like, okay, just one
Okay.
more because they're
I
fun.
got this is my last one. This is my last one. Let's say you're dating somebody,
Okay.
right? He's perfect, everything's great. You go to his house all the time. He makes you dinner. You can pop up, show up to his house whenever. Nobody's never there, nothing. Right?
Uh-huh.
After you're dating him, he tells you that he's married. But his wife doesn't even live in the same state. And
So are
they're
they
not together.
okay? So there's just the paper saying they're married. So he never officially got a divorce.
Never. They've been broken up for like a couple years.
And
She
I
said,
talked to her.
hello, health. I think she made hell to the no. Amy Amy said hell to the no. Okay, Amy, why? Okay, so
Ah,
Amy, right, why? Emily. But
I would be
she's
okay
been
with
broken
it.
up for like 2 years, like never pop up, never no phone calls, nothing. But he's still legally married.
I wouldn't care unless I was getting married to him. And then I'd be like, you have to get legally divorced because if you're going to marry me, but if I have no interest in marrying you, which I probably wouldn't, I'd be like, no, I'm good. I'm good.
So you wouldn't
Then
care.
I wouldn't care. No.
Oh, you wouldn't care.
Now,
Okay.
if he was involved with her still and she was showing up and he lied to me and said, "Oh, we're separated," but they're really not separated, that's different.
Right. But she's
Yeah.
nowhere to be found. She don't live.
Oh,
She lives in a whole other house, a whole nother. You
and they
never
don't have
see
kids
this woman.
together.
No,
There's no kids. Okay.
no kids, nothing. But he's like, I just want to let you know that I don't want to hide anything from you. We're still legally married. I'm still legally married.
I mean,
She said, um, oh, Mike. What's
yeah.
up, Mike? Mike, where you been at, bro? I ain't talked to you forever. Mike said, if it was switched around, it was a woman, I'll say no. So he's saying if it was a woman that was married,
Why?
why? Yeah,
Yeah.
why? Amy said, then make it right. Finish up the paperwork, loose ends.
And
She's somewhere. Okay,
yeah.
Emily.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say I'm agreeing with Amy. And the only reason why I said that is because you guys, I'm not trying to be all religious, but I stick by my little Bible. So I
Okay.
just believe, yeah, I just believe in like I
Mhm.
put marriage on another level. So the thing
Okay.
is that when it comes to marriage, I just couldn't lay up in nobody's bed or be with a man knowing that like he still has ties to another woman. That's just me though.
Okay, so what if he tried to get a divorce and she took off and left the country and he can't
Okay.
find her?
See, now I'm gonna tell you that because there's this boxer. She's dating this one of my favorite boxers. She's dating this
Mhm.
rapper, but the rapper's wife, they've been separated for about like 5 years. But the rapper's wife refuses to give him the divorce. She wants him to get counseling. They've been to counseling, all that,
Mhm.
but he
Yeah, and
won't.
that happens.
And that happens a lot. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That happens a lot
Yes.
because I know I couldn't take it serious. But why can you take it serious if she's just saying that they just
Yeah.
never got a divorce. Like they're
Like,
not
what if you
together.
talk to her? What if you talk to her and she said, "No, I have no interest. I'm not coming back. I'm actually." Okay, here's another one. Okay, so to go on to this, okay, so you talk to the woman, okay? And the woman says, "Well, actually, we're going to get a divorce soon because I found somebody and I want to get married and I can't be with him anymore." Would you get involved then? Because she's wanting to get a divorce and he's in agreement with that, but technically they're not divorced yet.
And you know what? I'm not going. I just
That's
feel like
hilarious.
when someone's married, that's
Mhm.
just a whole nother ball game. And I don't get when people like. Okay, so let's say for instance, like that boxer I told you, right?
Mhm.
The rapper she's with, he was with
Yeah.
the girl for like 20 years plus. That's
Mm.
just so much history. I just wouldn't mess with it. I just wouldn't mess with it. At any time they can get back together. They broke up and got back together before.
Oh, okay. So if they broke up and got back together before, that would be different. But if like it was years or something, or like there was a reason behind it or something, then I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
said, oh, Mike said, I'm with you on the Bible aspect. I will have it annulled. Then he comes into some money and then she'll all get who get half.
She's all I get half. Okay. Maybe if all.
This was said in the beginning,
Yeah.
we can still talk, not until it was done. So
Okay.
so what he's saying, he said he'll still talk to her, but won't get in a relationship with her.
Yeah.
Amy
Hmm.
said it's messy. People need to be adults and make it right. The wife. But listen, I have people that I know that are been not even what I just
There are so many different situations and the way that people live and stuff like that,
and
and
I don't
like,
ever right. And I don't ever want
yeah.
nobody to pop up and come to the dude I'm with and be like, hey, we're still married. I want to make it right. And then he comes to you, hey,
Yeah.
just letting you know my wife wanna hell no. I
Like,
can't
we
mess
see
with
that
marriage.
stuff in those, like, movies and stuff, though. I mean, I know it's movies,
Yes.
but, like, I know it happens in real life where all of a sudden, like, they're with somebody and then it's like, "Oh, I'm actually married and I never told you about that." Like, could you imagine if, like, all of a sudden out of the blue, like, um, what like those again, I think it was, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it was like this guy had this whole separate life. Or like then you watch like shows like Dexter, where like the guy is like this really nice Christian guy, and then he's going around murdering people, like, you know?
I watched a movie like that. I watched a movie like that. I can't think of what
Yeah.
it called. It was really good. And like the woman was
Uh,
like following the dad and it found out he was like the serial It was
yes.
crazy.
Yeah,
What she
and that
said?
stuff happens.
It's deceitful. Amy says deceitful. What else haven't they told you? Mike outside
Yeah,
said we can talk as friends, but nothing more until the divorce was final. Listen,
that's
I
fair.
will I would be
That's
pissed if
totally
somebody
fair.
yes, and I feel sad for people that are with people for years and then
Yeah.
years later they found out they're married. You don't do no that's you don't do
No,
people
if
like
you
that.
told in the beginning, then again, you have the choice. You have the
Right.
choice to stay, you have the choice to leave. But if you're
Facts.
taking that choice away from me, that's what pisses me off. It's not what you do, it's like how you go
It's
about
how you
doing
do it.
it.
Yeah.
So, because if you have nothing to hide, then you should have told me, but if you act like I feel like in any given situation, if you're honest with me, I'm like, okay, you've given me the choice to make my own decisions for myself. But if you take that away from me, that's different. you know?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm the type of person, like, I'm big on honesty. So
Totally. Same.
like if somebody was to like cheat, but he came
Uh-huh.
forward and told me, I feel like we can kind of work through that because you're honest enough to tell me. You gotta respect somebody that's honest. I
Exactly.
feel like if you're
But when you
honest,
hide and you
yes,
pretend and you know,
yes,
cover it up, that's a different story.
yes. I feel like when you're honest with somebody, people don't know that. I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but you can
Mhm.
get a person to commit to a lot of stuff. I mean, do a lot of stuff if you're honest
Mhm.
with them. You know, like you can
Right.
like even if you're like, hey, I want an open relationship, you're giving this person the opportunity. You never
Exactly,
know.
and they can either choose or they can go away, but,
Fact,
you know, I mean, and most people will appreciate that because then I'd be like, "Okay, that's not for me. That's not what I'm interested in." Or with you, you're
facts.
like, "I'm not married to you, so do whatever you want." You know? I
Because
mean,
at
there's
the end of the day, it's like,
different
yeah,
situations where,
yeah. Because
you say, "I don't care," and I'm like, "I don't know, it just depends," you know?
I'm really like,
Yeah.
I'm lax though. Like I don't know, my mindset's a little bit different, but I'm just like, we got an understanding. I know it sounds crazy.
Okay, so with that situation, let's say you guys were in love. Like you were like, I love this guy. I'm not married to him, but I love him, but he has an open relationship. Could you do that? So you're in love. I mean, this isn't like I like you or it's like, oh man, like everything, like you're my don't say you're my everything, but you're so in love
Yeah,
with him
yeah.
that
Like
you're just
you're
like,
so tied to this
yeah,
person. It's deep.
yes.
It's deeper.
Yes. And
I
he says,
honest.
"But I'm in an open relationship and I have no intentions on marrying you."
Did he tell me this before? Did he tell me this before or after I fell
It
in
would have
love?
been after because you're in love with him now. Oh, no, no, no. No, he told you, "I'm in an open relationship," and you're like, "Okay, that's fine because we're not gonna get married anyway. So let's just hang out, let's date, whatever." But then during this relationship, you fall in love with this person. And he says, "I am so in love with you, but I can't get married to you and I can't commit to just you." Would you stay? Or
Am
would
I
you
in the same thing, or I want to be married with him too because I'm in love
let
with him?
you want to be married to him, but he doesn't?
No. And the
Yeah.
only reason why is because I've been in a situationship like that,
Yeah.
and it was
Mhm.
it was not fun. It was not fun.
Right. Well,
And like,
especially when you want to get married and the person
yeah,
doesn't. That's different. It's like the kid talk, if you want kids and they don't.
and that's what I was
Oh,
gonna say.
yeah, that's a good one. You're in a relationship and he wants to have kids and you don't. Do you stay? Like he wants you to have kids with him, like not kids from another marriage.
How
Like
many?
two.
No. I'm not having like no, that's what I said. See? And my friend said when I was growing up, they're like, and that's why you ain't never got no man because you don't tolerate nothing. You're gonna have to I'm no.
I love it that you're just like, no.
I'm like, heck no, because I don't want honestly, like I told you, I don't
Yeah.
want no more kids. I really I don't.
Okay, what
I
if he
don't.
wants one? What if he wanted one and he said I'd be open to adoption?
You would throw adoption in there. You would throw adoption in there? Okay. I mean,
He's a really good dad too.
okay,
He helps
possibly.
you.
Yeah.
Helps you a lot.
Oh, he's very involved.
Yes, he's very involved, like almost to the point that he's like, you go and you go relax, you go get a
I ain't
pedicure
gotta work.
for the kids. You don't have to work.
Okay, yeah. We could he pay all the bills. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, he pay all the bills?
So
What they
okay.
say, why? Oh, ooh, I like this one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mike has said he said that he said that he no, he couldn't do nothing like that. He said he would rather be by himself. Amy said, why buy the cow if the milk is free? Now listen to that. Listen to this. And I agree with that because I tell my friends all the time, like
Uh-huh.
when they used to get ghosted and stuff, I'm like, bro, you
Mhm.
guys are giving it up too fast. Like you gotta have some type of boundaries. Like,
Totally.
like I don't know if it's like this the 3 month rule. I don't believe I was I was I had another scenario. But listen,
Oh. Okay.
you got one? Go ahead, go ahead. You
No,
got
no,
one? You
no.
got
I,
one?
I didn't. I had the one about the kids because I was like, I know that that's like your thing that you're like, no, no, I don't want to do it. But
Which
then,
one? Another one?
No, the one about the kid, but then, you said if they wanted to adopt and he had a job and you didn't have to work,
I
you
said
would
I would. Or if
do
he
it.
says one, I'm like, okay, I can do one. I'm getting old, but I'm not doing another 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
One, okay,
So
but like
1.
3 or 4, one,
But
that's
what
it.
oh, could you imagine though? That's the
Don't
one
say
where
it.
you're like, "I have triplets." How
Oh
fun.
my God. Or twins? Oh my God, bro. I'll be dead. I'll
Could you
die.
imagine? And then you'd be like, "I have 3 kids now."
That's what I was gonna say. What if it's like twins?
It would be. It
I
probably
hate being pregnant. I just not it's not for me. It's not for me.
Oh, I loved it.
What
But
about a surrogate? I'm like, maybe
yeah, there you go. There you
I was
go.
like, maybe I'll bring
Yeah,
up a
if he's
surrogate.
rich enough for you not to have to work, he could probably afford a surrogate.
Someone said this is funny for real. Yo.
I'm glad that I'm glad you're enjoying it. Oh, this is another factor. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay, so he wants 3 kids, but he's like, "Okay, I will get a surrogate and I'm rich enough for you to have a nanny." Would you do it?
But surrogates keeping the kids?
The
Or
surrogate has
me?
the babies. You don't have to have the babies, and there's a nanny to take care of them.
So listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'm weird. I'm weird. I don't know if how I feel about the surrogate because I feel like the surrogate is
Okay.
carrying a kid, and I feel like anything can happen with the missing pieces.
Okay, fine. He wants you to have all 3 babies, but you don't have to take care of them. Like, you have a nanny. So you get to pick and choose. Like, you get to be the fun mom, and you don't have to do any of the work because the nanny does it all for you.
I just can't do it.
I feel weird about that.
Well, I feel strange. I
Yeah.
feel what she said. Amy said, Ultimately, women will be old and alone, and are only kidding themselves being in an open relationship." No, because he's you okay, because he will end up with the nanny. No, that's what I was saying. That no, and Amy, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you got to be careful with stuff like that because that's his child, and then he's like connecting and he's
Yeah.
meeting the person that's
Mhm.
carrying the child. I think that's kind of like I made jokes. I don't know if I can do that, Sarah. I think I just have to take one for the team.
Okay, so if you had your own, but he wanted 3, but he said, "Okay, this is the deal, okay? There's 3 kids, okay? You have to have 3. You have to have 3 babies." Like, we're talking
Back to back.
back-to-back pregnancies. Yeah. Yeah, like, you basically get one out and you start working on the next one, okay? Alright, so there's that, okay? However, he's really rich, like, really rich. Like, we're talking, like,
Billionaire status?
billionaire billionaire style, and he has like everything you need, and the pregnancy's really good because you can just sit there and you can like eat whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you have a personal trainer to help you like throughout your pregnancy,
What?
you have
Okay,
everything,
okay,
but
okay,
all
okay.
you have to do is like have back-to-back babies 3 times.
I'll do it. And if a personal trainer, I knew you did. If I had a personal trainer, make sure I
Yeah,
keep my weight down and stuff.
and it was a
Yeah, I'll do
personal
it.
trainer boxer,
Oh
like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they set up this whole plan for you, like, so that you would, like, get the best workout,
And a
but
meal
not
plan?
what's that?
A meal plan?
And a meal plan, yeah, but a
Yeah,
meal
yeah, I'm
plan
in.
where you got enough, like, like, calories for the
Nutrients and
baby.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts. Let's
yeah,
do it.
like, everything is covered.
Let's do it. He said, bro, let's do it. Let's do it. And then Amy, okay. And then Amy said something that I want to respond
Yeah,
to because she said, open a relationship. Okay, I see what you're saying, but there's a lot of people, there are a lot of women. I know a lot of women I know that are okay and confident in open relationships. I know people that are married
mhm,
that have open relationships, but
yeah,
them and the person have a very strong bond. So I
mhm.
mean, I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people have different opinions when it comes to open
Right.
relationships.
And I think it goes back to the honesty thing too, because if somebody's saying like in the beginning, like this is who I am and this is who I'm going to be, and you get to pick or choose, and if you walk away, I completely understand because it's not for everybody. You're giving them that option.
Facts. You know what? And I was gonna say maybe this is too TMI, but I've always been the person like before I was like when I was in my single days, I've
Hmm.
always been the person that never wanted a relationship, but the person is begging me to be in one.
Oh,
And I'm like, bro, why are you catching feelings? Like I'm
right.
That is
Right,
so
right.
annoying. Or if
Well,
you're
yeah.
chilling, you're kicking it with somebody, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
they're like, "Hey, I gotta tell you something." You're like,
I'm in love with you.
she's Mike is dying. Amy said, "Then you'll leave your husband for your trainer, for your trainer."
You probably well,
Hey, but you know what? It's beautiful when a man provides, though. When a man provides, it allows you to be submissive and be the woman, and not and to just be carefree.
yeah.
That's a cool. That's a neat thing. That's how my dad was. He was a provider. My mom didn't have to really do nothing. He
Oh,
cooked, he cleaned, he did everything.
wow. So
He did everything.
this guy does everything, and he
Everything.
has
Yeah,
personal trainer for you too.
let's do it. Let's run it.
What if he's
Let's
like,
run it.
okay, what if he's like, I want you to have babies, like, for the next couple of years, like
No, heck
before
no,
they're ready,
no,
like 5.
no, no. And the thing is that them kids be bad.
Yeah. And that would be exhausting. Even if you had like a personal trainer and you had everything you need, like it's hard giving birth to babies. And then like if you had to have a C-section, you'd have to recover from that. And then you'd be like, okay, you just recovered. Now we're going to have another baby. Like that's a lot.
And listen, London traumatized me. After her, I didn't even. She was
Ugh.
so freaking bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is it?
So once you have that
Then
traumatic situation, it's like, okay.
so she said, sorry. Amy said, so then we don't believe in that one true love. Amy, Amy, y'all are wild tonight. Okay, no, okay. I believe in true love. I believe in what is it? What is it? I can't think of it. Soulmates. I believe in that. But how do I say? I believe in it, but I don't know. How I am, with how I am, if I'm speaking from my point of view, it takes a lot for me to be connected with somebody.
Mhm.
So
That's
it,
fair.
it takes a lot. So I gotta date, I gotta really see what's up before I take somebody serious. So if we dating and we're getting to know each other and you want to have an open relationship, but that's just me. That's
But
me.
it would be hard. I mean, and I get where she's coming from because if you were in that open relationship and you were like everything's good and then all of a sudden you're like I really love this person. Like what if they did something and I don't know what that thing is, but they did something that was like I can't get over this person. I am so in love with them. And that could happen. You don't know. Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it won't. And maybe it won't. I don't know. But there's always that chance that you're like, this was supposed to be just us hanging out. And now I'm in love with this person.
I
That's the way emotions work.
listen. That situation. That's not. That's not funny.
No.
It was a something. Yeah, years ago, it was something similar like that, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. It wasn't. It turned into something more than what I expected,
Sure. Yeah.
but
And
it
that's
wasn't
exactly what
fun.
happens because you
Yeah, it
weren't
wasn't. It
expecting it.
wasn't fun.
Yeah.
No, and then the sad thing about it is like I want to tell people when you have like, don't cross the line with friends.
I agree. I was actually going to say that because
Don't
that is the
cross the
problem
line.
is once you
Don't.
cross it, even if you get together and you're like, okay, this is just us hanging out, you don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And like I've lost friends that way where I'm like, okay, we were friends and then we decided to cross this line and now like we're not friends.
No, and I
I
was
don't
gonna
not
say
like
that.
them, but I just, I mean, but we're not close.
Well, I'm gonna share it because it was in the past, and the past is the past, and
Mhm.
I'm over the past.
Sure.
I don't hold on to my past, but I was in a situation to where me and this person were friends for years, and then eventually it went over to that.
Sure.
But I didn't want that because I love the friendship so much. I didn't
Mhm.
want that to mess up anything. So
Mhm.
once it transformed, it was done. And I was like, bro, I love the friendship. I didn't like all the other extra shit. Let
Mm.
me see.
Yeah.
Mike said the wife leaves for the trainer and the husband leaves for the nanny. Amy said everyone is happy, but the kids though. Mike outside said this needs to be put in a book or a movie. Mike
Because they're about to
outside
have a
said the
really
kids
big
are about to
Christmas.
have a reality big.
Could you imagine? Everyone's getting involved with everyone else. Michelle's getting involved with the boxer trainer.
That's a lot. Imagine beating up on holidays. That's gonna be a hot ass mess. That's
I mean,
gonna
if
be a
everyone's
freaking
happy,
mess.
I guess, and the kids have a good Christmas. I think that this should be a book. We could talk about all these scenarios and be like, what about this scenario? What about this? What if this happened?
She said, "Where are the kids? They're on the street." What she mean?
No, they're all rich. They all have their
Oh,
own
your
bedroom.
scenario, your
Yeah,
scenario.
yeah, maybe, unless, yeah, hopefully, because if you're hanging out with the trainer and the husband's hanging with the nanny, where do the kids go?
But
I would
listen to
hope they'd
this.
have a room.
Listen to this. Tell me what you think about this, because my stepdad said that my stepdad and another person watching when we were on live, they said that all billionaires cheat.
I bet a lot of them do.
Do you think so? I
Yeah, because they have
disagree.
the money to do it.
They said no billionaire is faithful and want to be with one woman. They all cheat.
I bet they do
I
because
don't believe
they can
that.
pay for it. They can have whatever they want. I just think
So
that,
go
so
ahead. Go ahead.
this is my theory, okay? I think that humans are never going to be happy with anything because if all of a sudden you came into money, okay? You came into a lot of money, okay? Do you think that you would just be happy with that money or do you think you try to get more?
More.
Exactly. So same with
Um,
the billionaire. You have that, you have all these women that are all into you because you're rich. Wouldn't you try to get more because you wouldn't be happy? Because are we ever happy with what we have or do we always want more?
and listen to this. You know what's crazy? A lot of those wives don't give a damn. As long as they got their nice car and
Yeah,
keep their house, they don't care.
totally.
And they
I
know what he's doing.
I mean, I feel like if we had an arrangement where like we were married, but I knew what he was doing and I just had to like hang out and go to parties every once in a while, I could do that. I could do
What? But
that.
he paying the bills? He paying the bills
Yeah.
and everything?
He's paying all the bills.
He's paying all the bills and
Yeah.
you
And
have
I
your
can do
own,
whatever you can do whatever you want.
and I got my account with my
Yeah.
money that I can stash
Yeah.
away and I'm
And you
straight.
didn't have to sign a prenup.
And I just have to show up with them every so often for
Yeah.
parties and stuff.
Yep. You just have to like go get your hair done and go like get a nice dress and get all decked out and you just have to hang out and impress his friends.
That's it. And then after
Yeah.
that, he goes his separate ways and I go mine.
Yeah, he lives in Thailand.
What would you do?
I would totally do it in a heartbeat.
That's easy money. Let me see. So Mike said he believed that all billionaires cheat. Amy said, well, probably, but he's giving me all that I want, then I'm looking the other way. And she said, exactly, until he slips into some psycho who wants what you have. That's a man, that's the
Well, see,
only
if
thing,
that
but those girls be
happened, and then if he
crazy,
made me
man.
sign a prenup, that would be another thing. Like, am I going to lose everything?
I
You
got
know?
a question. I got one for
Oh,
you. I got one for you.
okay.
So let's say that after you get your degree and stuff, right? You got your master's, you got your own practice, you're making a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
You meet somebody that you love, and
Mm-hmm.
but he does well for himself, but you are loaded.
Oh,
Would you
well, I
make him
won't
sign
ever.
a prenup if you guys decide to get married?
It really depends on the situation. So if I trusted, I don't know though, because people can lie. Like you hear about it all the time. Like people that have like been together forever and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I never saw that coming and he did this and I
And
have
that,
no
and
idea.
that's what I was gonna say. That's what's scary because
Yeah.
you think you guys are good, and then he does something, and you're
Yeah,
like,
what if he tries to
"What?"
kill me afterwards?
Or you go to court, and then they're like, "Hey, okay, this will let you know. Here's the paper. This is all that he's wanting." You're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So would you? Would you? You say
Mm.
you don't know. You guys love
How
each
long have
other.
I
You
been?
have he has his money. You have yours.
Okay. Has he
But
ever acted like he wanted something of mine?
no, you're just being precautious or whatever.
Okay.
And you're
But no, you said it right. And he can
okay.
take care of himself. Like he makes enough money that if something were to happen to me, he lives a comfortable life. So he's not like, I don't
But he
know.
doesn't have more money than you. But he has money.
That's okay. I mean, it depends. It depends. Have I been with him a long time or did I just get involved with him?
You've been with him for a while. Yes.
Okay. If he hasn't done it yet, I'm going to trust that he won't.
So no prenup needed.
No, I don't think so. Not in that
Okay.
case. Now, if he was like really poor, and he was, like, making comments about, like, and he was taking my money from me, and he's like, "Oh, we have enough money to spend. You can just do whatever." And he was being that way, then no.
No?
Yeah.
Maybe let me see. Um he said be like Dolly Parton and let him have it. What happened with Dolly Parton? What happened with Dolly Parton?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Amy
Oh,
said that.
yeah.
Amy, what happened with Dolly Parton?
Dolly Parton and let him have it. And
And I will always what happened? I'm
yeah,
curious.
I know. I have my iPad here. Let me look. What happened with Dolly Parton?
She got me curious.
Okay. What happened with Dolly Parton?
I'm so confused.
Dolly Parton's husband at nearly 60 passed away at the age of 82. Since his death, I don't know. Let's see.
She
And
said
now
she
he
let her ex have the money.
Oh,
Mike, yeah. What? How much money?
yes.
How much
He
money?
must have a lot of money. Dolly Parton's really rich.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, she's got a lot of money.
Mike outside said, I would do the prenup, but depending on what happened, I will give her some money or do something to help her get back on her feet.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because you could do the prenup, but you could say this is a stipulation. I'm not going to take everything away, but you also can't have everything that's mine. So, like, for instance, if I had a practice, he can't have my practice. That would be my thing. And it would be like, oh, it's going to go to my friend who's going to use it and utilize it. And, she or he is going to, make it better. But if he was going to be shady about it and he wasn't going to care about it, I wouldn't give it to him.
Well, you tell me if this is crazy because I think that I will talk to him and we'll come to a compromise. I think I will write it out and get like it
Mhm.
notarized or something.
Totally.
Yeah,
As you
I think
should.
like yeah. So that case, if he starts tripping or showing his ass, I'm like, look, this is what. So I
Yeah.
don't even know if that would work, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because you just never know with people. That's the only thing. You never know.
You
You
don't.
never know.
You
No.
don't. Okay. Scenario.
Okay.
You
What's the
meet a guy.
scenario? What's the scenario?
You meet a guy, he's a billionaire. Like we're talking like really, really, really rich, okay? Really rich, okay? But he's really old. And you don't have to marry him, but you can stay there and you just have to hang out with him and maybe empty a bedpan every once in a while and watch movies with him. But that's it.
No.
Okay.
I
So
wouldn't even feel right. Like the way my morals is set up, I
I
wouldn't even
know.
feel right. I'm
I
like,
know. I
I'm
don't think
taking
I should
advantage of
say
somebody granddaddy. Like
What
I
if
wouldn't
he
feel
what
right.
if he knew the situation and he's like, "I don't care. This is just I like hanging out with you."
So that's a sugar baby. Right? Is then your sugar baby. I wouldn't be able to. I
What
would.
if he could send your daughter to like this like really expensive school and like there was a really good chance that she would get into like a Ivy League school, like Harvard.
And
Oh,
that's the school
there
she
we go.
wants to go
There we
to
go. Okay,
too.
she wants to go to Harvard, okay? And he says, "I will send her to Harvard and I will pay all her tuition." Do you know how expensive Harvard is? And
Yes.
all you have to do, okay, and you're not even dating him, you're just his caregiver basically. And you just have to hang out and watch an old movie with him, maybe rub his feet and
I'm
empty a
not doing
bedpan.
it. No. And you know why? The reason why? Because I believe in karma. Like if my heart's not in it and I'm just trying to take his money, I feel like that's gonna come back.
It's
So like, she
true.
may lose her scholarship or
Yeah,
anything because that's my only thing.
that's a good point. That's a good
Yes. He said, oh, Amy said everything he said was old. She wrote that song and what is that? How do I say that?
And I will always love you. You
Ooh, ooh,
Ooh,
no.
no,
I
no.
don't know that song.
No, I'm
Mike
sorry.
said, hell no, I'll throw up everywhere. I got a weak stomach.
I can't
Amy
rub. I
said,
don't
we ain't gonna be all open relationships up in old folks. So, man. He said he got a weak stomach. I got a weak stomach. I just feel like
Okay, what if you went and got your nursing degree, okay, and you have your nursing degree and he really likes you and you don't have to be involved with him, but you're his caregiver, but he pays for her to go to Harvard. But you have to stay and you have to continue to be his caregiver until he dies.
no.
No, but you're not. doing anything. You're just
No,
a
because
caregiver.
well, because it's just because like I wouldn't want to put her jeopardize her like that. And anything, any little mess up or anything I do, it's gonna
What
jeopardize.
if he gave you the money up front?
No,
Okay.
it just no. That's bad juju. That's just I just
Yeah,
wouldn't trust it.
it's fair.
And listen, when
But you're
even when
not because you're just his caregiver.
no, listen, you always I always hear about like these sugar babies that
Yeah.
always and they talk about how it goes bad. And this
Mhm.
one girl said that she was a somebody's sugar baby, and he got mad at her and took her in the store, and she bought all this expensive stuff, and in front of everybody said, "I'm not paying for it."
But you could
And
be
she
like Anna
didn't.
Nicole. You could have tons of money. Anna Nicole got okay, but she had a hard life. I mean, she ended up dying
Well, I thought she
prematurely.
was very beautiful though.
She
I
was.
thought she was really pretty.
I thought she was
What
really beautiful too.
Amy said, we ain't. Oh, let me see what she said. Then it's a job. I could. Mike said it's a job. I was gonna say that. He said
It's
that's
a
a job. That's a
yes,
job.
yes, it's a job. It's a job. You're getting paid to do it. But he's like, okay, you can live in my home. You have your own apartment with your child, okay? And she can go to Harvard. You don't have to like you're working.
That's a little bit different, but I'm.
Okay, I'm not saying like you're dating him. You're not dating him. You're his
So it's
nurse.
just an agreement. He just want to help
Exactly.
out.
He wants you to be his nurse and he really thinks you're funny and he wants to like have you laugh and like tell jokes with him. And you have to hang out with him at nighttime and have dinner with him.
Oh, that's his job. Yeah, I'm like, but I ain't doing nothing else. I ain't rubbing no feet backs. I'm not. I just wouldn't even feel right. I wouldn't even feel right. I wouldn't even feel right. That's like
Okay.
prostitution. I wouldn't
Okay, but
even.
you do have to change his bedpan because it is your job.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, because you are a nurse and you might have to do that sometimes. And he
If we
wants
got an
you
understanding,
yeah, yeah. And
yeah.
he really likes you in the sense that you advocate for him. So he wants you to like advocate for him and make sure that his family's not taking advantage of him. But all
Facts.
that work, you're doing all that work, but he's paying for her school to go to Harvard.
I still don't like that she's in the mix. I'm gonna tell
And
you
you have
that.
to
I
leave your
just
husband too. So,
what?
yeah,
No,
you
no,
have
this
to
is
leave
no, 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 no. Heck, wait. Let me see. She said. Amy said my friend used to do that, and he gave her a Hummer. Um,
I mean, I feel like if it was a job, I could do it.
he said, Mike said, but are they going to
Nothing is
want sex? That's the
no,
thing.
no.
She
They
said no.
okay, so just in this situation, no. And even if he wanted to, that's not an option for him at this point in time because he's that old.
He said it's nothing if sexual if it's not in.
I
He said
feel the
that's
same
nothing.
way.
He said that's nothing. He said taking a bedpan, changing the bedpan. That's nothing. That's a job.
Okay, so you don't live with your husband, but you get to see him on the weekends. So you and your daughter live in this mansion throughout the week,
With
and you
the
get to see
dude,
him on the
with the
weekends.
man. No, hell no. No, I'm not putting her in that. I am not putting her in that. She said men always want sex. That's what Amy said. I Amy, I disagree.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of men want this. A
Mm.
lot of men want stimulation with the mind. I think that's first. I don't think that the sex is always first. You can tell me what you think.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of agree with you on that because I think there are like a lot of men that's kind of like the primary thing that they say they want. But in all honesty, like, I don't know, just because I've met people that, maybe they're kind of like, kind of slutty, but when you start communicating and talking and just like being, like using your brain, they seem to like that more, honestly.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. She said, no, that's women.
I think there's a lot of men that like mental stimulation too.
I think, well, I'm just saying, all the men that I came across, they all like the mental stimulation. It was the mental part
I
of it.
think that women, this is my opinion, obviously,
She
that
said, no, no.
women
Oh, she disagreed. She
about what?
disagrees with me.
Oh, okay. It's something sexual, and men always want sex.
I feel like Amy, I feel like women get like too emotionally invested.
Yeah.
My opinion. I feel like a lot of women they just let themselves go and they just give too much up. Like it's just too much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think too, this is part of the problem, and I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. Is that there's a lot of women that think that's like just all men want, so they'll throw themselves at men thinking that's all they want. And of course, men are going to be like, "Oh yeah, totally, I'm into that." Like most men will do that. But if you come at somebody and you're like interesting and you're funny and you just kind of joke around, because I feel like I've met men that, like, when I haven't been trying or I'm like, "Whatever, I don't care. I'm just hanging out and just joking and laughing and just being who I am." They're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" Because
Right.
that's yeah, but I think that a lot of women think that that's all men want, so that's what they're gonna do.
But I don't understand how women could just throw themselves at men like that. Like I
Yeah.
get easily turned off. I don't like that all that. I don't know. It's just
That
weird.
sounds like too much work.
That's just I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But I agree with Mike. I could totally like live in some guy's house and like be his caregiver. And if my children got to go to Harvard,
He said that's a job.
it is a job.
He said that's a
So
job.
I don't like feet in general. I think they're disgusting. So I'm not
Okay,
gonna
but he
touch
got
anybody.
he got nice feet, or he
Who?
got them
Oh yeah.
claws. He got them
He's got
big
claws.
foot.
He's got claws. He has a podiatrist that comes to see him, and
No.
he's got yellow toenails.
Oh my God! Can I wear gloves? Can I wear gloves? You can't wear gloves.
Yeah, you can't wear gloves.
Oh heck no! That's nasty.
And I don't know, your husband might be like, "I don't want you living in his mansion during the week, and I get
He
to see all my
said
friends."
that's wild. Mike said, just me personally, she can look good, but if she lacks intellect, goals, and plans for her future, then that's see. Finally, a man that says it. A lot of these
Yeah.
men, Mike, want bird brain females that they can manipulate. And I
Mhm.
did a video on that, and I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna get mad at me for saying that. But I like,
Whatever.
yeah, but I'm like, I like a man that like, I like when men look for intellect and somebody that's smart, not just looks.
Yeah. And that they want to like support you to be better, because it's, I mean, like, and I'm sure you've seen it just, with foster care and stuff. There's a lot of men that like just don't want women to get smart because they don't want them to use their brain, because if they get smarter, then they feel weaker. And it turns into like, I feel bad about myself, so therefore I'm going to make you feel like shit. And I don't want you to get educated, because if you're educated, then you're going to be smarter than I am. And I'm threatened by that.
Facts. And
So
I don't know who wants a man that's threatened. That's so, or men that's insecure, or a man that's
yeah.
easily offended. It's just so much energy with that.
Yeah, I don't have time to stroke your ego. It's like, if
No,
you want something, you go get it. And if my feelings get hurt or whatever, I look inward and I'm like, okay, that hurt my feelings. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to process it because it's triggering something in me, but I'm not going to make
right.
it your problem. That's something
Facts.
you need to work on.
Mike said, not the yellow toenails. Hell no. I quit the job on the first day. Amy
Yeah,
said
no.
they wanted bird brain because they're easy. Excuse me, guys. The intelligent, excuse me, guys. Yeah, it's my bedtime. The
Um,
intelligent. Let me see. She said they want the bird brain because they are easy, and what she say? The intelligent and goal driven
because
are for
they're
keeps.
easy. The
Okay.
intelligent, goal driven are for keeps. It's so true. You have to work a lot harder with like smart people.
And Mike said my relationship has to be a team. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
like you guys.
totally.
That's why I was so sick. That's why I was single for years because men knew I don't. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where they're just getting dogged out. Like that's just not it. And you're not gonna play with my feelings, But
Oh, yeah, you probably set those boundaries strong with people and said, "Nope."
facts. He
I
said, Mike
see you
said
and I'm
I
like,
can.
No."
Mike said I can build with her. She can build me up, and we can keep that cycle going. And
And become
become
the
the
best.
best. And Amy said, "Word." But listen,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, Mike. Like I feel like when people come in relationships, you got to come in the relationship, a relationship being secure in who you are,
Mhm.
and you have
Yeah.
to come with your ego already got them stroke. It's not. I'm not about to stroke your ego. Nobody want to be pouring into no man. Your mom
No.
should have did that. You should have
Exactly.
did that. Like this,
Exactly.
it's not my judgment. Oh my gosh, you look so handsome today. Oh my gosh, you look so good in that. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
Like you can do it if, they come out and they look nice and you just do it because you're like, wow, you look really good. I like that outfit or I like that shirt. That makes sense. But if that's all you're doing and you're trying to make them feel good, like I have an aunt that she does that, but her husband lies all the time about stupid shit, but she kind of just goes along with it. Like he said he had his PhD, and I'm like, you don't have your PhD.
He lied about that.
He totally lied
No.
about it. And like he does things like so his brother is younger or older than him, but he looks younger. And he's like, yeah, you wouldn't believe it. He's like older than I am, but I look so young. Or no, he said I'm older than he is, but I look younger. And his wife's like, oh yeah, you do. And we're just like, no, actually you don't. So yeah.
That's crazy.
So the
That's
fact that you're
wild.
willing to like change who you are, like don't.
No.
If you lose yourself, you lose everybody. Like nobody has time for that.
Amy said, when are you guys gonna do this again?
Uh,
Uh
this is
Good question. It probably depends on me, Amy, because Emily's always down. I'm the one that be like slacking.
well, you're in school too. There's a difference. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
in
mean,
school.
but I'm finishing up classes, so me and Emily will get together and do this again for sure.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. Okay. I didn't realize the time. I'm getting a
I know.
little.
I was gonna say that's why I'm starting to make comments about like old men and
Yeah, I'm like, okay, guys. So you ready to call it a night? I know
yeah.
she has to work. I gotta work. She said, Mike said, if you're not strong enough to believe in yourself, then having someone stroke your ego is the only temporary
Mm-hmm.
satisfaction. Amy said, I love this. Okay. You,
Oh.
you know what? A lot of these men, man, they got low self esteem and they don't want to admit it. And
Yes.
they got low self esteem and they
Either
got
that or they
mommy
want to
issues.
pretend that they're not and that, everybody loves them,
Yes,
and
facts.
nobody does. And that's called narcissism.
I'm telling you,
Oh, we should do a video about narcissism.
we should. That'd be a good one.
There's actually a YouTube guy that I follow that I found him, and he's like a diagnosed narcissist, and he makes videos on like stuff that narcissists do.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, do
Mhm.
narcissists have empathy? Do they have this? Do they have that? And he shares all these videos because he's like, I am a diagnosed narcissist and I'm in treatment.
He really said that, but he
Yeah, yeah,
out of himself like that.
I'll share his information.
Okay, let me see. Okay. Bye, Amy.
Bye.
Yeah, it's my bedtime.
I
I'm
know,
like,
mine too.
okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Emily. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye.